2.5 pieces. Plus, down home with Green Bay quarterback Brett Favre.
Last year, I felt that we were able to match their quickness right down the line. This year, we can't do that. So what we do becomes more and more dependent on our adherence to the system of play that we have. Being patient on the offense, but executing on offense, cutting, screening, getting the defense turned around, creating problems of coverage for the defense, and then our positioning on offense. We can't get caught out of position. We can't give up lob passes. We can't give up lockout misses that result in baskets. We've got to find shooters in the break. So Kentucky presents a lot of problems, beginning right with hitting the three-point line in its offense. They've got good shooters. They shoot the ball. Against Louisville, I think they took 65 shots, and 30 of them were from the three-point line. They have varied the way they played us in the past. A couple of years ago, I think they had hit something like 11 of 57 three-point shots in their two previous games, and all of a sudden in a game against us, they shot it pretty well. So I'm not exactly sure how much they'll try to use the three-point shot. I think that they will, but I also think that a focal point for them will be an inside attack. We are somewhat inexperienced inside, and I think they'll probably try and take advantage of that with Dent, who's a very big, quick player who can go either way and go after the ball very quickly once it's been missed.
Coach, how about lineup-wise today?
We'll go with Wilkerson and Bailey, Hart, Lindemann, and Evans.
Coach, best luck at today's ballgame.
Okay, Don, thank you.
I'll be joined by Max German in a moment as our Dodge pregame show continues. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
It's that holiday season, and it's nigh on near because, well, it's just that time of year. The folks at the Beaver Dam Inn want to remind you that they're available for your party. All you have to do is ask. The Beaver Dam Inn makes arrangements for small groups or large groups. Call them today at 583-8375 and find out just exactly how easy it is to have your special meal at the Beaver Dam Inn. And what about those gifts that you just can't figure out which one to give to whom? A Beaver Dam Inn gift certificate would be a great gift for your employees, your friends, those special someones in your life. Yes, the Beaver Dam Inn. It is fine food at reasonable prices. The Beaver Dam Inn on Norway Road in Monticello. A great Christmas idea.
You're going to shop until you drop this holiday season. Then drop at the Hyatt Regency Chicago, the luxury hotel located on top of one magnificent mile. The Hyatt Regency Chicago Shoppers Package is just $89 per room per night, plus tax, including continental breakfast for two in the All Seasons Cafe. Discount coupons to great stores in Chicago Place, North Pier Terminal, and the Merchandise Mart. We'll also throw in passes to the Athletic Club, drinks in Big, and free parking. The Hyatt Regency Chicago's shopping package is your best deal of the shopping season. For reservations, call 1-800-233-1234 and ask for the Shoppers Package. Then, after climbing up all those escalators and lugging all those shopping bags, you'll be sure to have worked up an appetite. So stop in at Stetson's Chop House for a thick, juicy steak you'll never forget. The classic turn-of-the-century steakhouse features premier steaks, chops, seafood, and amazing desserts. That's Stetson's, located at the Hyatt Regency in Chicago.
From the Hoosier Dome in downtown Indianapolis, this is exciting Indiana University basketball. Hello again, everybody. This is Don Fisher along with Max German, welcoming you to the annual Bank One Classic here in the Dome. This afternoon, Bob Knight's Hoosiers will attempt to bounce back from a major upset loss in their season opener last Saturday when they fell to Butler 75-71 at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Unfortunately, to gain their first triumph, they will have to pull off a major surprise themselves. Today's opponent, the number one ranked Wildcats of the University of Kentucky under fifth-year head man Rick Pitino. Kentucky is off to a perfect 2-0 start that includes wins over 11th-ranked Louisville last Saturday and a Wednesday night pounding of Tennessee Tech 115-77. The Cats are coming off a fabulous 1993 campaign in which they racked up a 30-4 record and reached the NCAA Final Four, falling to Michigan in overtime in the semifinal game. Missing from last year's club are two key starters, Jamal Mashburn and Dale Brown, while virtually everyone else returns. And the Hoosiers, they had a tremendous 1993 as well, a 31-4 mark, but gone are four key stars that IU obviously felt the loss of in their disappointing start last week, even more than Kentucky. Max Durbin, you add to this mix the tremendous rivalry between these two ball clubs, and the Hoosier fans must be feeling a bit more anxious than usual about this contest this afternoon.
Don, I sense the Kentucky fans much more confident about what's going to happen here this afternoon than the Indiana fans, but of course Indiana fans are always hopeful that things will work out. And certainly in the past, the extreme favorite has not only won, as Indiana well knows, just a couple of years ago.
Well, certainly one of the things about this series has always been the tightness of the competition. The last four ball games between Rick Pitino and Bob Knight, when these two clubs have met, have been exceptionally close. Both teams have won twice, and the scores were not identical scores, but the difference was identical. 2 points and 3-point wins for Kentucky, 2 points and 3-point wins for Indiana.
Well, it's absolutely a great rivalry, and when you get this many fans to fit in here to watch a basketball game, I don't remember the number of people that saw the Indiana-Kentucky football game, but I'm sure it was similar in size to what we're seeing here today, which really says something about this great rivalry.
Well, we'll be back and talk more about this game in a moment. First of all, let me tell you that the all-time series is almost even, with Indiana holding a slim 19-17 edge in victories over the Wildcats. But Kentucky has won the last two meetings, and here in the Dome, IU has won just once in 3 meetings. Last year, Kentucky won in Louisville 81-78. We'll be back and talk more about this ball game in a moment and give you the Midas starting lineups as well. But first, let's pause for this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to Indiana University basketball.
I was out walking the other day when I noticed a group of kids stringing up Christmas lights around an evergreen in their front yard. And I thought to myself, there's just something about Christmas and kids. The two really do something for each other. The kids have their dreams about what Santa Claus will leave under the tree this year, and of course parents can't wait to see their faces light up when they open that special gift. You know, you can find that special gift right here in town. Hometown holiday shopping. Just makes sense.
Wouldn't a new Buick, Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, or Pontiac, or even GMC truck look great in the drive with a big red bow on top on Christmas morning? Dick Kriggs in Delphi would like to invite you to test drive your choice from their full line of top-quality GM products. Surprise the family with a new car or truck and be assured that you made the best deal on the best vehicles you'll ever drive. See Dick Krigg on 421 West in Delphi today.
Hometown holiday shopping just makes sense.
During this holiday season, you may be planning for a group dinner or party, but you may not know yet as to where you want to have that party. So let me suggest Stovall Sportsman Inn. Yes, great accommodations for any size group, and they'll custom design your event to match your needs and your budget. So call today and make those reservations for the holiday season at Stovall's Sportsman Inn, the home of great meals, super service, and a beautiful view. Stovall Sportsman Inn, just south of the Green Bridge on 421 in Monticello.
If you're going to shop till you drop this holiday season, drop at the Hyatt Regency Chicago, the luxury hotel located on the top of the One Magnificent Mile. Yes, Hyatt Regency Chicago wants to be the first to offer you a holiday package. Just $89 per room per night plus tax, including a continental breakfast in all seasons and discount coupons at the Mart, North Pier Terminal, and Chicago Place and more. You'll even throw in drinks at Big and parking, all for just $89 plus tax per night. For reservations, call the Hyatt Regency Chicago, 1-800-233-1234, and ask for the Shopper's Package.
Oh,
And, of course, our national anthem for today's ball game as we get set for broadcast. We had a chance to talk with Rick Pitino, the head coach of Kentucky, earlier this morning, and here's our conversation.
Rick, first of all, if you could, just talk about your basketball team in your first two games, a tight ball game with Louisville and a blowout over Tennessee Tech.
Two good ball games. We are nowhere near where we'd like to be, but I guess maybe with the exception of Arkansas, not very few teams are. We're a little bit green in certain areas, but we're trying very hard. The effort level is very good. I like this basketball team a lot. I think it has great potential. We're a more inside-oriented team than we have been in the past, and I think that'll help our shooting percentages.
Coach, your ball club plays a very interesting system of basketball, a much different system than a lot of teams. This kids seem to have picked it up very quickly.
They have, but this team still, especially on defense, doesn't understand what we want to do as of yet. I think they'll develop, but it's much like Indiana's system. You have your system, and anytime you can have a number of 3, 4, 5 players that have been in the system 3, 4 years, you know you have a good ball club. Anytime you bring new guys in, they give you great enthusiasm, great hustle, but they make a lot of mental mistakes.
What about the leadership of this team?
Well, we have very good leadership. Travis Ford's an excellent leader. Rodney Dent and Jamel Martinez and Jeff Brasso all give good leadership. That's been a good thing with these guys. They have a very high self-esteem as a basketball team, and they show it in the games that they've played. They believe they can win, and then when they lose, they don't get too down. So it's a nice team to coach.
Coach, talk a little bit about your impressions of Indiana. Got off to a rocky start last week in their opener.
Well, anytime you open up on the road, a place like Butler against a good team, it's a tough opener. I think it taught them an awful lot. It'll be very difficult to beat a team that's prepared for a week, and we have to be ready for that. I think that anytime you come off a loss, you have extra incentive to try that much harder. You don't want to open up the season 0-2, so there are a lot of mental things that we've got to overcome in this game playing against IU. I think they have youth, they have experience, and like us, if blended together right, they could be a potent ball club.
Your defense has caused Indiana a lot of trouble in the past.
Well, the first 3 years it did. Last year it did not. Our defense was not that good. It's just that our offense was unconscious from the three-point line. And when you have that type of three-point shooting night, you're not going to lose. And then Indiana missed free throws. First 3 years our defense bothered them somewhat, but last year it did not. And I think that had to do with Reynolds, Raymond, and Calbert Cheney being so good and playing against it for a few years. They understood it. We hope tonight it's once again effective.
Coach, just your feelings on the difference in this ball game. What will it be? What will the difference be to win?
I think, first couple years when we came in with walk-ons, limited scholarship basketball players, and we got a little bit better, and it was always a close game. Now we have a little bit more experience, a little bit more depth. It'll still be a close game. I don't think it really matters the talent level. I just think that night, which system executes the best offensively and defensively will win the game. This is a great rivalry. Great because both ball clubs, both coaching staffs, both schools have tremendous amount of respect for each other. Bitter rivals sometimes are not fun. This is a fun game for us, and that we like playing against Indiana because we learn as well as trying to execute our good things against some of the things that we can exploit.
Rick, we appreciate your talking to us. Best of luck.
Sure, thank you.
That's Rick Pitino as we talked to him earlier today about this contest coming up this afternoon between Indiana and Kentucky. And one of the things, Max, I think that is somewhat unusual from a coaching standpoint, Rick Pitino has already put this team with a little bit of a hat on their heads as far as how much talent they have and how good he thinks they can be.
Well, I think what he's got going for him is he's got some players who obviously have some talent. They're also the kind of players I think he likes to have in his system, and the whole blend is really good.
Well, Indiana and Kentucky this afternoon here at the Hoosier Dome. It should be some kind of a show. And, Max, it looks like almost a 50-50 split in crowd size today.
I think it is. Absolutely split down the middle, and certainly the Kentucky fans are enthusiastic, as are the Hoosiers.
38,500 for this ball game this afternoon, including, I believe, they put like 1,500 to 3,000 restricted viewing seats on sale here, Max, and they're all gone.
And I tell you, some of those that aren't viewing are quite a ways off. People want to see their basketball.
All right, well, let's take a look now at the Midas starting lineups for today's ball game. First of all, for the Kentucky Wildcats, Travis Ford will be at one guard. He's 5'9", 160, a senior out of Madisonville, Kentucky. He averages 11 points a ball game in the first two contests of the year. At the other guard is the much-improved Tony Delk, 6'1", 185, a sophomore from Brownsville, Tennessee. He's averaging 16 a contest. Rodney Dent, 6'11", 240, a senior from Edison, Georgia. His average 12.5 points a ball game. Will start at the center spot. At the forward, Roderick Rhodes, 6'7", 200 pounds, a sophomore from Jersey City, New Jersey. He averages 15 points a ball game. And at the other forward is Jared Prickett. He is 6'9", 210, a sophomore from Fairmount, West Virginia. He averages 5.5 points a ball game. For Indiana this afternoon, the Hoosiers, as you heard in our pregame show with Bob Knight, a completely different lineup than they had last Saturday. At one guard spot will be Sharon Wilkerson. He's 6'4", 185, a freshman from Jeffersonville, Indiana. He did not score in the opener. At the other guard will be Damon Bailey at 6'3", 201, a senior from Heltonville, Indiana. He had 23 in the opener to lead Indiana. It's basically a three-guard lineup to start this ball game today. And the other guard will be Steve Hart, 6'3", 184, a freshman from Terre Haute, Indiana. He had 2 points in the opener. In the middle will be Todd Lindeman. He is 7 foot tall, 242 pounds, a sophomore from Channing, Michigan. He had 2 points in the opener. And the other starter will be Brian Evans. Evans standing in at 6'7", 6'8", making 223 pounds, a sophomore out of Terre Haute, Indiana. He had 19 points in that first outing. So, Max, you can see that Indiana's going with a much different lineup than they did in the opener, and Bob Knight is going to try and get some enthusiasm from his ball club with a couple of freshman starters.
Well, I thought it was interesting. Pitino said your new players give you enthusiasm, but they do make mistakes, and that'll be interesting to see if that happens to Indiana today.
Well, the first half tip-off is just moments away, so let's take this break. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
You know, I've got this Aunt Betty that comes to visit every Christmas, and Betty likes to know what she's getting for Christmas before Christmas. Well, I've tried hiding her presents in the garage, in the neighbor's garage, the tool shed, even in the trunk of my car. Well, last year I finally surprised her, because I got together with a local merchant that offered to bring her gift over on Christmas Eve. Now that's the kind of service you get when you shop local. Hometown holiday shopping. It just makes sense.
Holidays are a time when we should take a moment and reflect. At Salem Bank, we're proud to be a part of the community and to be helping our towns grow. Shopping at home is a great way to help support local businesses and to save time, money, and aggravation. So whenever you can try shopping at home, and when it comes to banking, think about banking with a hometown bank. Salem Bank, where all your financial needs are smooth sailing. Salem Bank, member FDIC.
Hometown holiday shopping just makes sense.
All right, sports fans, it's time for another official game update from your Hoosier Lottery. Play the Hoosier Lottery's new game called Lucky 5. Just pick 5 of 36 numbers and you get 2 chances for $1 to win $50,000. That's $50,000. With that kind of money, you can travel in style to every game on your favorite team's schedule. Drawings are on Tuesday and Fridays. So before the next drawing, get to your nearest Hoosier Lottery retailer and play new Lucky 5 for a chance to win $50,000. Somebody's going to win, and it may as well be you. $50,000 won't change your life, but it sure can make your day. Remember, you gotta play to win.
The heart of a winner. It defies expectations.
A quick fake to the left, fake to the right. What's he going to do next?
It defies conventions.
What a remarkable display of teamwork we're seeing here tonight.
And on occasions, it even defies gravity.
Whoa, a big slam dunk. He was just hanging in the air. No one could touch him.
At Pioneer Hybrid, we're proud to support the Indiana Hoosiers, and we salute everyone who has the heart of a winner. See your Pioneer sales representative for the variety right for you.
Learfield Sports presents Indiana Hoosier Basketball. Brought to you by Squadron Herbicide. Strike early, strike hard. Coca-Cola. Always IU, always Coca-Cola. Your Central Indiana Dodge dealers. Hook's Drugstore. More of what a drugstore is for. The Hoosier Lottery. A proud sponsor of Indiana University Basketball. Indiana's Rural Electric Cooperatives. A power partnership providing safe and efficient electric energy to 1 million Hoosiers. Midas. Try the Midas way, the way it should be. Pioneer Hybrid International Incorporated and your local Pioneer sales representative, PSI Energy. Call the PSI professional today for ways to save energy and your money. TWA, the most comfortable way to fly. Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running. Your local Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by State Farm Insurance and State Farm agents throughout Indiana who support Hoosiers basketball. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And
Hoosier basketball is also being brought to you today by Beaver Dam Inn with Touch of Class Catering, Budget Rent-A-Car, and Jim's Tune-Up under the Big Smokestack in Monticello.
Opening tip-off is sponsored by REMC. A geothermal system is the most efficient way to heat and cool your home, and it uses a renewable source of energy, the earth. Call your local REMC to find out how geothermal can save energy and money. And now it's time for the Amex Coal High Energy Report, recognizing Indiana outstanding student athletes. Today's honoree is Alan Henderson of Indianapolis, Indiana. Alan, of course, on the basketball squad with a 3.15 GPA in pre-medicine. Alan's been honored academic All-Big Ten and honorable mention All-Big Ten. That's today's High Energy Report, brought to you by Amex Coal Industries, powering your energy needs. The officials for today's game are John Clackerty, Tom O'Neill, and J.C. Lineback. And we're about ready for the opening tip-off of this ball game this afternoon. It is Todd Lindemann at 7 foot, jumping center for Indiana. Rodney Dent at 6'11" will jump center for Kentucky. And we are ready for action as Tony Delk, Travis Ford, Roderick Rhodes, and Jared Prickett join Dent at center for Kentucky. Indiana has Damon Bailey, Sherrod Wilkerson, Brian Evans, Steve Hart. And here we go, the tip control by Kentucky. Sherrod Wilkerson being the other starter for IU as Travis Ford in backcourt out of the dribble. He moves it left side, bounce pass inside, stolen away, out of bounds, it'll belong to IU. Good defensive effort by the Hoosiers. Now, Hart gives the basketball and no full court pressure here at the outset as Wilkerson brings it across the timeline. He drives it left, bounces to Damon Bailey. Bailey on the left wing, kicks it out to Brian Evans. Evans looks inside, goes to Wilkerson. Wilkerson fakes, he drives it across the lane, in the lane, fires it inside to Hart, puts it up, missed the shot, tipped away. Ball knocked away by Lindemann, and we're going to have a foul call. Todd Lindemann gets nailed on the personal. That'll be his first of the ball game. And it'll be Kentucky basketball out of bounds. Tell you one thing, this crowd is into it big time. Here's Travis Ford across the timeline, works in backcourt against Wilkerson. Ford goes right side to Rodney Dent. Dent circles back outside with it, gives to Ford once again. Ford again right to Delk. Delk on the wing, got it by Bailey. Inside pass goes to Rhodes. He drives, puts it up, and a traveling violation. So the turnover, the second by Kentucky. And Indiana gets the basketball back. Now the full court pressure appears for Kentucky's Wildcats. Wilkerson inbounds to Damon Bailey. He gets it back to Sherrod. He'll bring it up the floor, gets a double team, kicks it away to Damon Bailey. Bailey now circles it, and he'll get it across the timeline, driving it to the in lane. Down slow pass to Steve Hart, puts it up, and couldn't get it. Rebound no good. Hart with a rebound. He comes back outside with it on the dribble. Kicks it out to Lindemann. Jump shot up and no good. Rebound batted away to Rodney Dent, and Kentucky's got the basketball. Indiana starts off 0 for 4 from the field. Here's a jumper by Rhodes. It's no good, and the rebound pulled out of there by Damon Bailey. Now, Bailey the other way, across the timeline. Drives it inside, puts it up, and doesn't get it, and there's a foul call against Kentucky's Wildcats. The foul whistle against Kentucky. 0-0, Tony Delk nailed on the personal. That's his first of the ball game. So Indiana will have it out of bounds. Bailey into Brian Evans. Jumper up good. And Brian Evans scores the first 2 points of the ball game for Indiana and the first 2 of the contest. In this contest, as Kentucky tries to counter in another traveling violation, the third Kentucky turnover. Jared Prickett, this time the guilty party. Here's Steve Hart. Inbound pass to Brian Evans. They break the press easily. Up court pass to Lindemann. Inside, turns, puts it up. Got it! Todd Lindemann banks on his first 2, and Indiana with a 4-0 lead. The other way, Roderick Rhodes. He puts it up, no good, and the whistle will be a foul call. Indiana trying to get back quickly that time. The foul whistle on Steve Hart. And so the freshman from Terre Haute picked up his first foul of the game, and the second team foul whistle against IU. Bob Knight saying something to Sherrod Wilkerson now. He will have it underneath their own hoop. John Clackerty will inbound or give it to Roderick Rhodes to inbound. Now we got a whistle. There's some battling going on. Clackerty now telling the players to cool out. Now we're ready. Roderick Rhodes inbounds. Backcourt to Delk. Delk, one dribble, looks, turns, gives it off to Jared Prickett. Prickett drives it left, back right. Bounces into Dent. Rodney Dent lost the handle. He traveled. That's the fourth turnover now by Kentucky, and the Wildcats are struggling to hang on to the basketball, and Bob Knight is loving what he is seeing from his defense.
Indiana played this way last week. Butler would not have been even in the game.
Here's the pass in. It goes to Bailey. Back to Steve Hart. Hart to Bailey once again. Damon against the double team. Lost the handle. Got it back. Drives it right. Down the floor he goes. Gets it across the timeline. Pitches it to Sharon. Puts it up and scores! What a basket by Sharon Wilkerson. His first two, and Indiana takes a 6-0 lead. Now Ford the other way, circles it to the left side on the dribble against Wilkerson. Back to Prickett, now to Delk. Three-pointer is no good. Rebound, Brian Evans knocked away from him, out of bounds, Indiana ball. I'll tell you one thing, Indiana is playing with some kind of intensity right now, and Kentucky seems really bothered by it.
That's exactly right, Don. They really are ready to play today in contrast to last week.
Steve Hart will inbound, and now coming in the first replacement of the game for Kentucky as Rhodes goes to the sideline, and Jeff Brasso, a 6'5 senior, comes in. Steve Hart gets it in to Brian Evans, back to Hart. Hart now will try to break the pressure. He does, and there's a foul. The foul call will be whistled on Brasso, it would appear. That'll be his first. That's the second team foul whistle against the Wildcats as the Hoosiers, leading 6-0, have the basketball. Roderick Rhodes now comes back in, and Brasso sits down. So that was a short-lived replacement.
Kentucky's only gotten 2 shots in this game.
Here's Sharon Wilkerson across the timeline. Bounces to Damon. Bailey looks inside, dribbles it, lost the ball. Roderick Rhodes on the steal. He breaks the other way. He puts it up and missed it, but there's a foul call against Indiana. Wilkerson, I believe, going to be nailed on the personal. Sharon Wilkerson nailed in his first foul of the ball game, and Bob Knight says, all right, no problem. As the ball stripped away from Damon Bailey by Rhodes, and Rhodes was fouled hard by Wilkerson. Rhodes will go to the line. Rhodes hitting 5 of 6 from the stripes so far this season, looking for the first Kentucky points of the ball game. First free throw is in the air, and he got it. Roderick Rhodes has his first point. He'll have one more shot coming. First point of the contest for the Wildcats. Indiana leads 6-1, 17:20 on the clock, first half of play, and the second one also good. So Rhodes now, 2 points. Delk guards Bailey, gives the ball off to Sharon Wilkerson. Wilkerson tries to get it up the floor. He does across the timeline and clears it away. Down low to Brian Evans for a three. He got it! Brian Evans bangs his second basket of the ball game. Indiana with 5 from Evans. It's 9-2 Indiana. Travis Ford, a 3 on the way, and he got it. Travis Ford dings his first three-pointer, and Kentucky's first field goal. It's Indiana 9, Kentucky 5. Damon Bailey, right side dribble, gives to Brian Evans. Evans drives inside to Lindemann, puts it up, no, got his own rebound, back up and in. Todd Lindemann's 4th point. Indiana, 11-5 leaders now as Travis Ford comes back the other way. Gives it to Rodney Dent. Back to Ford. Ford drives it right on the wing. Pulls up, clears it outside to Prickett. He goes to Delk. 3-point jump shot is no good. Rebound to Roderick Rhodes. Rhodes turns around inside, forces the shot up, no good. Rebound, Todd Lindemann. He clears to Damon Bailey. Bailey across the timeline, dribbles it left, gives to Sharon for a 3-point try. It's short. Rebound to Tony Delk. Delk will bring it back the other way. Delk across the timeline, holds it in backcourt, giving to Roderick Rhodes. Rhodes gives to Travis Ford. Down low to Dent. Dent inside, works, puts it up, and missed it badly, but the air ball rebound to Jared Prickett for the easy 2-pointer. First 2 points of the game for Prickett. It's 11-7 Indiana. Damon Bailey inbounds to Sharon Wilkerson, back to Bailey, and Bailey across the timeline, breaks the press, drives it all the way, scoops it up, good! Damon Bailey's first field goal. Indiana 13-7 now. Delk the other way. He puts it up. Block shot by Lindemann. What do we got? A foul call against Indiana. Sharon Wilkerson will get nailed on it. That'll be the second personal on Wilkerson. What a block by Lindemann, however, to make sure that there was no basket there. It's 13-7 IU. with 15:39 of the clock, first half of play. This has been some kind of battle here at the outset, at least from the standpoint of IU.
Well, Lindemann right now has 4 rebounds in this game already to go with 2 for 5 shooting. So Todd Lindemann, who last week was almost non-existent, certainly has come out to play today.
Sherrod Wilkerson will sit down with 2 fouls, and Patrick Knight comes in the ball game to replace him. The Hoosiers gain some size, but certainly lose quickness with Patrick. Delk will fire the free one up. It is in and out, no good. Tony Delk misses his first attempt. He'll have one more coming. It's 13-7 Indiana, 15:39 on the clock as Delk fires the second toss good. 1 point for Delk, and we get a timeout with the score. Indiana 13, Kentucky 8. And this has been a real battle so far as the Hoosiers lead it. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
Moving out of the city was a great idea, but the old farmhouse was drafty and dim. Call the REMC, my wife said. They have energy experts. REMC has special programs and rebates for their members. That's us, she said. So I called the REMC. They told me about compact fluorescent lights, how they cost much less to operate and last up to 10 times longer than regular bulbs, and how they can save me money. Now the house is bright, I'm saving money, and I won't be up on the ladder changing bulbs for a long time. Thanks, REMC.
In the battle against weeds, there is a winning strategy. Strike early, strike hard. Strike early with Squadron herbicide soil applied in conventional and conservation tillage, especially no-till. Strike hard with Squadron to control over 50 broadleaf weeds and grasses, including common and giant ragweeds, seedling Johnson grass, nightshades, pigweeds, common sunflower, and cocklebur. Then reap the rewards in the field of battle. For to the victor go the spoils. See your Cyanamid Agri-Center dealer and always follow label directions.
Well, Indiana's Hoosiers off to a good start. 15:39 of the clock, and Indiana leads Kentucky 13-8. Your local Coca-Cola bottlers and the Coca-Cola Company recognize the always fine athletes that make up the Indiana Hoosier basketball team. Always a winner, always Coca-Cola.
So Don, Indiana is off to a good start, shooting 46% right now. Kentucky just 2 of 7 for 28%. Indiana out-rebounding Kentucky 6-4. We mentioned that Lindemann has 4 rebounds already. The Hoosiers have got 4 offensive rebounds. Indiana's biggest lead in this game, a 7-pointer at 9-2.
Indiana basketball, and Pat Knight will inbound for IU. Patrick is joined by Damon Bailey, Brian Evans, Todd Lindemann, and Steve Hart. Sherrod Wilkerson starting the game, picked up a couple of quick personal fouls. On the floor for Kentucky, new face in the game now, as Andre Riddick, 6'9" junior, makes his first appearance, and he is a much improved basketball player. Riddick with 4, Delk. Jamel Martinez also in the game for the first time. And looking over on the other side, can't pick up the other player. It is Jeff Brasso back in. We are ready. Pat Knight will inbound, gets it to Brian Evans. Evans, up court pass to Steve Hart. Hart now looks down floor, works against Travis Ford, gets it across the timeline to Brian Evans. Evans on the dribble in backcourt, spins left, takes it low, gives it to Pat Knight, outside to Damon Bailey, who fakes, drives baseline, puts it up inside, and missed it, but a foul. Damon Bailey driving inside of the baseline is fouled, and Jeff Brasso has picked up his second personal already. That's the 3rd team foul against Kentucky's Wildcats, and Damon Bailey will go to the line with 2 shots coming. Bailey with 2 points in the ball game and 7 of 10 from the stripe last Saturday against Butler. Damon eyes the first attempt. It's in the air, and he cans it. 3 points now for Bailey. He'll have one more shot coming. Bailey hit 23 in the opener last week, shooting the basketball quite well here in preseason. Second toss up, and it is in. 4 points now for Bailey, and the Hoosiers are up 15-8. Here's Kentucky's Travis Ford quickly on the left side of the corner. Works it out there in backcourt, gives to Andre Riddick. Riddick looks inside on the dribble. Riddick looks for somebody to pass it to, finds Ford, goes right to Brasso, inside to Martinez. He threw it away out of bounds. It was touched last by Steve Hart. It'll belong to the Wildcats. Roderick Rhodes is getting set to check into the lineup now. Rick Pitino is also over there saying something to the timekeeper. And the ball, or Brasso now is checking out of the game. Here's the inbound of Martinez. Off to Travis Ford, right side past the Rhodes, down low to Riddick. and a whistle inside. They call a pushing foul on Todd Lindemann. So Lindemann gets nailed on his second foul of the ball game, and Bob Knight made a change when Sharon Wilkerson got his first two. Lindemann now has his first two.
Coach Knight looks over to Todd, points at his own head, saying, Todd, use your head out there. Don't make those kind of fouls.
Inbounding will be Andre Riddick. Rick Rhodes. Roderick Rhodes. He puts it inbound to Travis Ford in backcourt. Gives it to Rhodes. Rhodes against Pat Knight. Clears the way to Riddick. Riddick back to Rhodes on the right side. He drives in the paint, fires the shot up, and got it. Roderick Rhodes with his fourth point of the ball game. Inbound pass to Todd Lindemann. Lindemann turns around, finally clears to Damon Bailey, and the Hoosiers lead it 15-10. Bailey across the timeline. Bailey in backcourt, slides it left to Pat Knight. Pat looks inside, finds Bailey down low, puts it up with the left hand and got it. Damon Bailey, 6th point of the ball game, and Bailey did a great job that time of getting the pass and holding on to it. It was knocked away briefly. Here's Travis Ford the other way. Ford drives it inside the paint, fires up a runner. It's around the rim. No, tip up is good by Riddick. Andre Riddick with his first 2 points of the ball game. It's 17-12 IU. Here's Pat Knight across the timeline. The ball batted away. It goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Indiana. Delk from behind batted the ball out of Pat Knight's grasp, and it went out of bounds at the far end. Indiana has it as Knight will inbound. Looking inside, bounces to Bailey, and he lost the handle. It was stripped away by Delk again. Tony Delk showing some quick hands out there.
They're using Bailey down low and getting the ball to him. On that basket a moment ago, Knight did a great job of passing it to him.
Here's Pat Knight, inbounds to Damon. Bailey on the wing, down low to Evans. Evans turns, fakes, turns, puts it up. No good. He was forced inside and hit the ball at the backboard. Jamel Martinez now gives to Travis Ford, who crosses the timeline. Down low pass to Riddick. Back outside it goes to Rhodes. Rhodes drives in, puts it up, and missed it. Rebound inside, knocked away. Scramble for, back up again by Rhodes, and he scored. Roderick Rhodes has 6. Now it's 17-14, and the Wildcats within 3. The inbound pass knocked out of bounds by Kentucky. Pat Knight now will inbound. Full court pressure starting to pay some dividends for the Wildcats. Here the inbound comes to Bailey. Double team. Tries to work out of trouble. We got a whistle and a foul. Damon is saying somebody's got to come down and help me out when I get double teamed like that. There was nobody there to pass it to. The foul call was on Jamel Martinez, his first. And another face coming into the ball game for the first time for Kentucky now, as in steps Jeff Shepard, a 6'4" freshman. He replaces Tony Delk. Delk gets a rest. Pat Knight looks to inbound. He does to Damon Bailey. Bailey brings it up the floor. Damon fakes, fires to Pat Knight. Pat drives in, bounces low, and threw it away. Travis Ford stepped in the passing lane. They got to break the other way to Rhodes. He lost the handle, and he'll miss the shot, but there's a foul on Bailey. Damon Bailey will get called for the personal, his first of the ball game. 17-14 Indiana, but the Wildcats making a run now, and they trail by just 3. And let's see, no free throws coming here.
That's the 6th team foul on Indiana, so the fouls are starting to take count here.
Bouncer into Travis Ford, puts it up, missed it. Rebound Pat Knight for IU. Pat in a double team, gets away from it, throws to Damon Bailey. Bailey brings it across the timeline. Bounce pass to Brian Evans. In low pass to Pat Knight, knocked out of bounds, and there's going to be what? Foul call? It would appear so. Roderick Rhodes will get nailed on the personal foul. That'll be his first of the ball game. Here comes Todd Leary in to make his first appearance. He's going to replace Damon Bailey.
Well, Don Bailey having a much better game this year than last. You recall he had only 3 points in the game last year. This time he's making his presence known.
Indiana's Pat Knight will make the inbound. Pat bounces to Evans. Shot is in the air. Good. Bryant Evans scores on an easy basket inside his 7th point of the game. 12:56 on the clock. Indiana by 5, 19-14. Kentucky's Roderick Rhodes with the ball. Gives to Riddick. Back out to Travis Ford. Ford drives it. Baseline he goes. Inside pass thrown away. A whistle. What do we got? A foul against Indiana. Richard Mandeville has made his first appearance for IU, and Steve Hart's back in as well. Mandeville in for Todd Lindemann, who has 2 fouls. That foul called against Brian Evans. That's his first of the game, and the 17th foul against the Hoosiers puts Kentucky in the 1-1. So the Wildcats have 1-1 for the final 12:45 of this one. Andre Riddick with 2 points in the ball game at the stripe for his first try. He's not a very good free throw shooter. He missed that one, and the rebound pulled out of there by Todd Leary. Leary takes it away, drives it left side across the timeline to Pat Knight. Knight drives it inside to Steve Hart. Turnaround jump shot is no good. Rebound Mandeville knocked away in a foul. Mandeville with the board and got the ball whacked out of his hands, but he took it off the wrist, so Indiana will have it out of bounds. That foul is called on Jeff Shepard, his first foul of the ball game. And Martinez checks out. Jared Prickett back in, so is Tony Delk now for Kentucky. Indiana has Pat Knight inbounding for the Hoosiers. And we got some shoving going in before the ball is ever passed inside.
Been a lot of offensive rebounds in this game already. Indiana's got 5, Kentucky's got 4.
12:33, first half. Inbounding will be Knight. Finds Evans. Evans right wing. Spins against Prickett. Drives, pulls it back out to Todd Leary. Leary goes to Hart. Hart in backcourt. He drives it left. He stops, gives it off to Brian Evans again. Evans looks slow inside. We got a whistle and a foul against Indiana. Steve Hart or Richard Mandeville won. It'll be Steve Hart called for the personal, away from the ball. So Indiana turns it over on the foul. That's the second foul on Steve Hart. And off the bench for the first time comes Alan Henderson for IU.
Steve Hart was called for charging on that play away from the ball, and he really decked the Kentucky player. Indiana's beating the press, I think, gone pretty well, but they're not making the score down at the other end as well as they should be.
Brian Evans checks to the sidelines for the first time as Henderson checks in for the first time. Allen not getting the start this afternoon. Travis Ford at the free throw stripe, outstanding free throw shooter, and he missed it. Oh, it went in. It bounded around. I can't believe that ball went in the hole. It bounced off the rim, looked like it was going to bounce way off the front of it, and it went back up and went in. So he's got his 4th point of the ball game. Travis Ford getting a break there. He'll have one more shot coming. Kentucky now is 4 out of 6 from the stripe. Second shot by Ford. This one's good. 6 of 6 for Ford this season. Here's the inbound to Pat Knight. Pat against Rhodes will bring it down the floor. Across the timeline, and he's lost the ball. Here's Rhodes to Delk to Rhodes, and he is fouled. Todd Leary will be called for the foul. That'll be his first of the ball game, and Bob Knight will send in Pat Graham for the first time in this contest. Patrick Knight sits down. Pat Graham comes in. So Graham, Mandeville, Steve Hart, Todd Leary, and Alan Henderson, the Hoosier lineup on the floor.
Well, that's 5 turnovers now against Indiana. Kentucky with just 4. Kentucky had 4 early turnovers when Indiana had only 1, so the last 4 turnovers have been against Indiana.
Rhodes fires the free one good. He's got 7. And Kentucky creeps back to close. It's 19-17. Indiana by just 2. And here comes Damon Bailey back in the lineup now for IU. And Richard Mandeville will sit down. So Indiana goes with a small lineup, a very small, with Henderson, the lone man, over 6'5". Henderson, of course, stands in at 6 feet 9 inches tall, the junior from Brebeuf High School, and a bad free throw there by Rhodes, pulled out of there by Alan Henderson on the board. Here's Damon Bailey up the floor. Fires to Todd Leary. Leary left side of the wing. Takes it back to Pat Graham. He drives baseline. Pulls up. Throws it up. No. Henderson ball knocked away from him out of bounds to Indiana. Indiana will have it. And timeout is being called with the score. IU 19, Kentucky 17. 11:57 to go first half. We'll be back after the 60-second break. You're listening to Indiana University basketball.
Do you have water spots on your dishes and glassware? Are your clothes dull and dingy after laundering? Does your skin feel dry and rough? If so, you need a Puritan water conditioning unit. Puritan soft water turns clothes whiter and makes dishes sparkle. Puritan soft water keeps your skin smooth and your hair shining. Puritan has over 40 models to choose from. Puritan Water Conditioning, 216 Lafayette Avenue, Crawfordsville. Phone 362-6340. Puritan, another name for soft water.
Look up the definition of service in the dictionary, and it says, C. Thompson Hopper & Associates. Well, at least it does in my dictionary. And when it comes to insurance service, they are a very good example. The people at Thompson Hopper & Associates have learned through the years that people want an insurance agent that works for you, cares about you, and helps you get the best insurance and service for you. Got an insurance question? Call Thompson Hopper & Associates, 362-8858, 125 South Washington Street, downtown Crawfordsville. Still with extended hours every Wednesday night till 8:06.
11:57 to go in this first half of play, and if you're looking for the best deal on a new car or truck, check out your Central Indiana Dodge dealer, a proud sponsor of Indiana basketball. We know how to help.
Well, Don, Indiana is doing all the right things except putting it in the basket right now. During the first 11 minutes and 57 seconds, they shot 44% on 8 of 18, but they've only hit 2 of their last 5 shots during the last 4 minutes. At the same time, Kentucky now has hit 5 of 13. They're hitting 38%, and that's during the last 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Indiana has out-rebounded Kentucky 10-7, but Indiana missing opportunities to put points on the board.
We are ready. Damon Bailey will trigger the inbound pass for the Hoosiers underneath IU's basket. Pat Graham, Todd Leary, Steve Hart, and Alan Henderson join him. Travis Ford, Jared Prickett, Rodney Dent's back in, Tony Delk. And I think the other player is Roderick Rhodes, so they've got their original starting 5 in. Still waiting for Bailey to get the handoff from the official. Now we're ready. Damon bounces into Pat Graham. Pat turns on Prickett, fires it out to Steve Hart. Hart now backs it back out and gives to Todd Leary, right side of the circle. Down low to Henderson on the baseline. Inside pass, nice feed, but missed shot by Damon Bailey and out of bounds off of Indiana. Yes, it is. Bailey had an easy one inside and couldn't get turned around and freed up to shoot it like he wanted to and missed it badly. Travis Ford in backcourt for Kentucky. Bounce pass thrown away, and Indiana's Damon Bailey comes up with it. The Hoosiers take over the 5th turnover by Kentucky. Todd Leary, backcourt drive, starts it right, pulls it back out, drives left, gives to Bailey. Bailey takes it down low into Pat Graham, puts it up, no, block shot, and Roderick Rhodes comes away with a rebound. Travis Ford the other way. Ford passes to Tony Delk for a 3, try, good. And Kentucky has their first lead of the ball game. 4th point by Delk. Here's Steve Hart to Bailey. Damon inside, scoops it inside to Henderson, puts it up and in. Alan Henderson gives Indiana the lead right back again at 21-20. Now Jared Prickett, he passes baseline, off it goes to Rhodes, missed the shot, ball rebounded, knocked away, and out of bounds to Indiana. There may have been a foul call. I think it was. It was actually Rodney Dent who took the shot. The foul is against Kentucky. And Indiana should be getting 1-1 here. That will be the case. The foul call, whistle on Dent, would be his first of the ball game.
The personal foul, Kentucky.
So they'll go to the other end, and Sharon Wilkerson now will come into the lineup for IU. Todd Leary will sit down. 2 fouls on Sharon Wilkerson, but he returns to the lineup. And Alan Henderson now will go to the free throw line for IU. Henderson with 2 points in this ball game. Had a tough first outing, free throw wise, hitting just 5 out of 12 against Butler last week. So Allen at the line. First attempt in the air, and he got it. 3 points for Henderson, so he'll get the bonus. Hoosier basketball brought to you by Hook's Drug Store. More of what a drugstore is for. Henderson with one more, trying to give IU a 3-point lead. Up it goes, and he missed this one. The rebound, Rodney Dent for Kentucky. Off to Travis Ford. Ford across the timeline. Ford in backcourt, starts it right, drives to the wing, fires it up, and got it. Ford's 7th point of the game. Inbound pass to Steve Hart on a break. Hart feeds it inside, and Roderick Rhodes steals it away. Down the floor again, Kentucky. It's tied at 22. Ford gives to Rhodes a 3. No good, and the rebound comes off to Pat Graham. Here's Pat across the timeline. He drives it right side. The ball stripped away again. Kentucky's got another break. Here's Tony Delk. Ball batted out of bounds by Steve Hart, and it'll belong to Kentucky. Rick Pitino didn't like the lack of a call there. He thought there should have been a foul. Brian Evans comes back in the lineup for IU. Roderick Rhodes will inbound for the Wildcats. Rhodes underneath the basket, fires to Delk. His shot no good. Rebound, Brian Evans. Evans clears to Hart. Hart brings it back up for the Hoosiers. It's tied at 22 with 10-11 to go in the half. Here is Damon Bailey to Sharon Wilkerson. Down inside to Evans. He fakes. One dribble. Fakes again. Puts it up. Block shot. Knocked away. Bailey's got it. He fires, and he hits. Bailey with his 8-point. Indiana 24, Kentucky 22. Back down the floor. With the ball, Travis Ford. Ford, backcourt dribble. Moves it left. Gives to Prickett. Prickett down inside to Delk. Delk turns around. Block shot by Brian Evans. Knocked away, but Delk got it back. Off the Ford for a 3 try. He missed it. And Damon Bailey's got the loose rebound. Bailey up the floor for IU. Damon, top of the key to Sharon Wilkerson for a jumper. It's way off the mark. Henderson rebounds. Inside. Knocked away. Scramble for. Out of bounds. It'll belong to Indiana. Indiana ball. Andre Riddick will check back in, and here comes Todd Lindeman back in for Indiana. Lindeman will check in with 2 personal fouls as well. Lindeman comes in the ball game, and Sharon Wilkerson will sit down. 9:25 to go in the first half of play with Indiana on top by 2. Here's Bailey inbounding to Evans. Bryant, a 3-point try is short. Rebound batted away. Lindeman's got it. A jump ball call. The possession turn will go to IU. Indiana basketball. Damon Bailey will inbound for the Hoosiers. Damon lobs to Allen Henderson. Henderson in backcourt, turns around, bounce pass to Brian Evans, back to Allen. Baseline jump shot is around, and he couldn't get the roll. And a foul called on Lindeman the other way. It's 3 on time. Lindeman gets nailed for his 3rd personal foul.
Well, Don, at least the fouls are the aggressive kind. On that one, he was going for the rebound, but he's going to have to come out of there now.
So Richard Mandeville will return to Indiana's lineup. Todd Lindeman sits down with 3 personals, and Richard Mandeville comes in. 24-22 Indiana, but Andre Riddick with a pair of free tosses here could tie things up. Riddick missed his only attempt in the ball game. He'll have 2 coming. The first is no good. He missed that one badly. 1 more shot coming to Andre Riddick. And this one rolls around and it drops in. Riddick's got his 3rd point of the game. Here's Bailey with a ball against Tony Delk. Bailey starts his dribble. Bailey brings it up, drives it, comes back left, gets it across the timeline, down low and threw it away. He tried to hit Prickett. Here's Rhodes the other way. He puts it up and got it. Roderick Rhodes is 9th point. Ball knocked out of bounds by Kentucky on the inbound. The Wildcats have a 1-point lead at 25-24. And Indiana struggling a little bit. Damon Bailey will inbound. He gets it to Steve Hart. Hart against Travis Ford, brings it up, gets it across the timeline. Hart jumps it off to Allen Henderson. And a pass is batted out of way and picked off by Rhodes. Kentucky breaks the other way. Rhodes just traveled and got away with it. Travis Ford now with the ball on the right wing. Gives it to Delk. Delk drives, pulls up, shoots, and scores. Tony Delk has got his 6th point. Brian Evans inbounds to Damon Bailey, and we got a foul call against Kentucky. This one, I believe, will be nailed on either Prickett or Ford. We'll wait and see. Travis Ford gets nailed on the foul. That'll be his 1st. Well, Bob Knight looks down his bench. He wants to make a trade for somebody out there, but I'm not sure he knows where to go. He's going to decide on Patrick Knight coming back in the ball game.
Well, Don, he needs to find somebody that can put the ball in the hoop right now, because Indiana's shooting only 38% right now, 10 of 26, as they have really tumbled here lately and have not been able to score.
Allen Henderson comes out of the ball game as Pat Knight returns to the lineup, and Damon Bailey will go to the line for IU. Indiana down 3, 27-24. Bailey's got 8 points in the first half thus far. Damon puts that one in, and he's got his 9th. He's 3 for 3 from the line. Coming into the ball game is Jeff Brasso for Kentucky, and Roderick Rhodes will sit down for a moment. So Damon Bailey at the line, looking for the second one to drop, and he got it. Damon's got 10. The Hoosiers trail by 1, 27-26. Here's Brasso. Left wing. Outside pass to Shepard, who's back in for Kentucky now. To Riddick. Andre Riddick back to Brasso. Brasso gives to Jared Prickett. Prickett down low. Pass goes to Riddick. Back out the Delk for a 3, and he got it. Tony Delk's second three-point basket is 9 point. Here's Bailey the other way, and another foul on Delk. Tony Delk picks up his second foul. And Indiana will go to the line for a 1-and-1. 8:07 left in this first half. The Hoosiers right now trailing 30-26.
Indiana has scored only one basket in the last 3 minutes of play.
Bailey at the line with a deep breath. Free one in the air, and this one's no good. It batted away to Tony Delk, and Kentucky's got the basketball with a 4-point lead. Here's Jeff Shepard with the ball. Right side pass comes to Prickett. Prickett outside, it comes to Riddick. Riddick drives, fires the shot, no good. Rebound knocked away. Picked back up by Kentucky. They miss again, and the rebound to Damon Bailey. Bailey down the floor, across the timeline in a hurry. Bailey pulls up, down low pass goes to Hart, and he threw it out of bounds. Pat Graham will check in, so will Travis Ford, and we got a timeout called. Score, Kentucky 30, Indiana 26, 7:42 to go in this first half of play. Back after the 60-second timeout, this is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
One has 12 legs and loves the wide open spaces. Your family, your associates, and your friends. That's why there's Dodge Spirit. Not only can it seat 6 comfortably, it comes with air, a stereo, and more. Plus, you can get $1,000 cash back. Dodge Spirit fits 12 legs for under $12,700. See it at your nearest Dodge dealer today. MSRP with $1,000 cash back with mentioned items. Excludes tax and destination fee. Check one out at your neighborhood Dodge dealer.
Last year, over 1.5 million cars were stolen. The thieves who took those cars not only stole from the rightful owners, but they robbed everybody who pays car insurance premiums. That's why State Farm works with car makers to make new cars harder to steal, and why we work with law enforcement officials to recover cars that are stolen. Because when a thief steals any car, he steals from all of us. This message brought to you by State Farm and your local State Farm agents.
Here at the Hoosier Dome, it's Indiana trailing Kentucky 30-26 with 7:42 to go in the first half of this ball game. Well, Hoosier fans, hold on to your seats for this week's official game update brought to you by your own Hoosier Lottery. Lotto Cash is $1 million. That's all cash paid to you all at once. And Powerball an estimated $32 million. Remember, someone's going to win. It might as well be you. So play Lotto Cash and Powerball right here in Indiana.
Well, during the last 7 minutes, Indiana's been outscored 20-9. They were up 17-10 at the 14-24 mark, and we're now at 7:42, and Indiana trails 30-26. Indiana shooting just 38% now on 10 of 26. Kentucky is hitting 10 of 25, 40%. The last 3 minutes and 18 seconds, Indiana has been without a field goal. Rebounding, Indiana has done well, 17-12, out-rebounding the Kentucky Wildcats, but turnovers, Indiana has turned it over 10 times, Kentucky 5, and several of those have come during this last 7 minutes in which Indiana has fallen behind.
Jamel Martinez returns to Kentucky's lineup along with Shepard, Brasso, Riddick, and Travis Ford. Indiana has Damon Bailey, Pat Graham, Richard Mandeville, Brian Evans, and Patrick Knight. Here's the inbound, and Kentucky on the attack with a 4-point lead. Travis Ford circles to the right side. Comes back left to Brasso for a 3 try. He got it. Jeff Brasso with his first field goal, another 3. Kentucky suddenly leads it by 7. Here's Pat Graham across the timeline to Pat Knight. Pat pulls it back outside, gives it to Brian Evans. Evans looks low, finds Pat Graham. He pumps a 3-point shot. Got it! Pat Graham with his first field goal. And it's a tray. 33-29, the Kentucky lead cut to 4. Travis Ford on the dribble in backcourt. Moves it right, comes off to Shepard, now off to Riddick. Riddick back out to Travis Ford. Ford slows it, backs it out against Pat Graham. Now Ford moves it right, fakes, drives it back left side, bounces in the corner. It comes off to Brasso, back to Ford. Ford looks outside. Ford drives it inside, clears it to Martinez. Inside, a whistle. We got a traveling violation against Kentucky. So Indiana will get the ball back on the 6th turnover of the game by the Wildcats. Pat Graham into Brian Evans. Brian turns around, spins down the floor. He goes to Pat threw it away. Nope, it was touched by a Kentucky player. John Clougherty says, no question it was touched. Rick Pitino says, no question it wasn't. Clougherty got the victory there. For Indiana's sake, it was a good call. Here's David Bailey. Backcourt dribble. On the move to Pat Knight inside. Gives it to Pat Graham. Pat lost the handle. Picked off by Brasso and got a foul called on Indiana. Todd Leary's going to come into the lineup. So is Alan Henderson. As 6:30 remain in this first half of play. So the Hoosiers have turned it over a bunch. That's the 10th turnover of the ball game. That's the 11th turnover of the ball game now for IU. And going to the free throw line will be Brasso. Brasso, outstanding free throw shooter on this season, 4 of 4. Brasso hit his first three-point fielder just minutes ago, or actually moments ago, and he fires this free one up, and it bounces around and drops in. I'll tell you what, he and Travis Ford both were 4 of 4 coming into this ball game, and each of their first free throws of this contest banged around up there and clanked finally good. He got both of them to fall. His 5th point of the ball game for Brasso now. Indiana gets the pressure. It's 35-29. Kentucky's lead at 6. Here's Todd Leary. Down the floor across the timeline to Bailey. Damon in backcourt on the right wing. Holds high. Looks, drives. Takes it baseline. Whistle. What do we got? Foul call against Kentucky. I think Rick Pitino thought that foul was going to be nailed. Travis Ford picking up his second. I think Pitino thought that was going to be nailed on Bailey. But Bailey will be the man going to the free throw line now for IU. 2 shots coming. That's the 10th team foul against the Wildcats, and Damon cans this one. Bailey now with 11 points, and he is 5 for 5 from the line today. Actually, I think he missed one, didn't he? Yes, he did. So Bailey will have one more shot coming at the stripe. In comes Steve Hart once again, and Richard Mandeville will sit down. And Bailey at the stripe will have a chance to cut that lead back down to 4 if he connects on this one. Bailey fires the second, and it's good, and Damon now has 12. Indiana within 4, 35-31. 6:13 to go in this first half. Travis Ford on the dribble. Drives it right. Inside he goes. Block shot by Henderson. Brian Evans gets fouled. Jamel Martinez will be nailed on this one. That'll be his second of the ball game. Well, Travis Ford made a dash down the lane, and Alan Henderson blocked his shot perfectly. And Indiana then, Brian Evans picked up the rebound and then was fouled immediately by Martinez. So the Hoosiers going to the stripe once again. Earlier it was Kentucky going to the line a lot. Now Indiana is.
Indiana is 7 of 9. They're shooting very well from the foul line.
Evans misses, however, his first attempt of the ball game from the stripe, and he'll have one more shot coming. The Hoosiers are trailing by 4. Evans will try to cut it to 3 with his second attempt. Flies number 2, and it is good. That's the 8th point of the ball game for Brian Evans. And Indiana now is within 3, 35-32. Travis Ford in the corner to Brasso for a 3-try. No good, short. Rebound off to Indiana. Brian Evans got it to Todd Leary. Leary down the floor, top of the key. Turns and gives to Brian Evans. Evans drives it left side. Stops, pulls up. Clears it back to Leary. Todd looks in backcourt against Ford. Goes to Henderson on the right wing. Allen comes back outside to Todd Leary. Leary now looks inside. Drives it left. Looks, finds Henderson on the wing. Allen back cross-courting to Steve Hart. Hart lost the ball, got it back. Hart now, the shot clock down to 4. Here's Leary. Leary fire, or baseline drive shot is up. No, but Henderson rebounds and got it in the foul. Alan Henderson gets the rebound basket. His 5th point of the ball game, and he will go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play that could tie this ball game up. 5:21 left in the first half. Todd Leary took it to the baseline and tried to go baseline with a shot. What are they going to call now?
I don't know. I think the basket counts. I mean, we're just waiting for Henderson to shoot a free throw.
Rick Pitino is beside himself out there. But it's Alan Henderson going to the line. I don't think there's any question about the call. Now Rodney Dent checks in, and Andre Riddick will sit down for Kentucky. Henderson will try to tie this thing up at 35. He puts it in the air, and he got it. It's tied at 35 all. And so Indiana's made a run and have gotten back into it, down by 6 moments ago. Here's Travis Ford. Circles left. Bounce pass comes away to Prickett. Indiana fans are on their feet. Here's a pass almost thrown away, but Ford retrieves it. Fires it left to Delp. Tony Delp drives left side. Gives him the corner to Brasso. Inside pass deflected away, and a foul call. Let's see on who. Damon Bailey is going to get nailed on it, apparently. Damon Bailey, I think thought that he was the guy that was fouled. Damon is in disbelief right now, and so is the Hoosier bench. Bob Knight looks incredulous out of the floor as the official has called the foul on Bailey. That's his second of the ball game, and Jared Prickett will go to the free throw line. Prickett goes to the stripe. Danny Dockich is saying something to Bob Knight right now. And Knight, of course, is saying something to official John Clougherty.
Well, he missed that one big time. Bailey got in front in between the pass, and he came over the top of him.
Prickett goes to the free throw line for the first attempt and gets it to drop. Jared Prickett has his third point of the ball game, and he'll have one more shot covered. It's 36-35, Kentucky by a point. Prickett with a second toss in the air, and it also bounces short but goes in. 4 points for Prickett. Here's Steve Hart. Jump pass to Alan Henderson. Henderson pulls it back out and gives to Steve Hart. 4:50 to go in the half. Indiana down 2 as Hart on the dribble in backcourt gives to Todd Leary. Leary looks low, can't find Bailey, comes outside to Hart. He pumps the long one and got it. Steve Hart, his first field goal of the game is a tray. And it's 38-37, IU by 1. Travis Ford runs it inside and threw it away. Here's Hart the other way. Hart goes to Henderson down the floor to Todd Leary up, and he got it. Yeah, no, it wouldn't go. Tip up controlled finally by Kentucky. Man, that ball was halfway down and came back out. Ford behind the back to Prickett. A whistle, and we got a foul. Foul called against IU. Bob Knight is screaming again. It's 38-37. Kentucky leads by, or trails by 1, but Jared Prickett will be at the stripe. Boy, everybody is jawing the officials, both Kentucky and Indiana today. I don't think anybody's been happy with any call made. Jared Prickett now at the line with 4 points. And he'll try to tie it and does not. The first try rattles away, and Indiana still with the lead by 1. Prickett will have a chance to knot things up. Pat Graham will return to IU's lineup as Steve Hart will go to the sideline.
Hart's got 3 fouls. He's got to protect him during his last 4 minutes.
Yeah, Hart picked up his third on that last call. So Prickett with another chance to tie things here. And he rattled this one in for his 5th point. Now it's Indiana and Kentucky locked at 38. With the ball, Brian Evans in backcourt to Todd Leary. He'll cross the timeline. Leary takes it left side to Damon Bailey. Baseline. He drives, spins on Delk, puts it up and got it. What a move by Bailey. It's 14 points. Indiana on top by 2, 40-38. Travis Ford to the left side on the dribble. Outside pass comes to Delk. Delk drives inside. Shot is no good. Rebound inside. Back up and no good again. Tipped up, no. Another block shot inside. Out of bounds, and it'll belong to Kentucky. Well, the Hoosiers are banging hard on the boards as timeout is called. The score, Indiana 40, Kentucky 38. 3:42 to go in the first half. We've got a dandy going. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
As long as there is thirst, there's always the real thing. Coca-Cola Classic is always the one. Whenever there is fun, there's always Coca-Cola. Yeah. Coca-Cola.
right, sports fans, it's time for another official game update from your Hoosier Lottery. Play the Hoosier Lottery's new game called Lucky 5. Just pick 5 of 36 numbers and you get 2 chances for $1 to win $50,000. That's $50,000. With that kind of money, you can travel in style to every game on your favorite team's schedule. Drawings are on Tuesday and Fridays. So before the next drawing, get to your nearest Hoosier Lottery retailer and play new Lucky 5 for a chance to win $50,000. Somebody's going to win, and it may as well be you. $50,000 won't change your life, but it sure can make your day. Remember, you gotta play to win.
Well, we are seeing a real fine basketball game here at the Hoosier Dome. Indiana and Kentucky battling strong. First half, 3:42 to go. Indiana 40, Kentucky 38. At Midas, our inspections are free. In addition to complete exhaust work, we do foreign and domestic car and truck brakes. Stop in or call your local Midas shop for an appointment. Try the Midas way, the way it should be.
Don, you're right about two teams really playing pretty well out here. They are really fighting each other. The defense is absolutely awesome on the part of both teams. Indiana came into this game with just 13 points returning from the game in which they played Kentucky last year. Kentucky had 46 points coming back. But nevertheless, this Indiana team, which lost just last week to Butler, is battling out here with Kentucky now, and Indiana is now shooting nearly 44%. Kentucky now has dropped all the way down to 35%. They came into this game hitting 53% of their shots. Indiana out-rebounding them 20-15, and during the last 3 minutes and 55 seconds, Indiana has held Kentucky without a field goal. Don Damon Bailey and Tony Delk, or I should say, Tony Delk, are really having a battle underneath the basket.
Indiana on defense. Kentucky ball underneath their own basket. Rhodes will inbound it. Rhodes clears to Travis Ford. Wide open three, and he missed it. The rebound batted away. Henderson saves it to Damon Bailey. What a play by Allen. Here's Damon. Now ball knocked away out of bounds. It'll belong to Indiana. That was a great defensive effort at the other end by Tony Delk. Henderson and Delk there. Tremendous plays at the other end of the floor. Here's Bryant Evans into Todd Leary. Scoops it up and couldn't get the roll. Knocked away, picked off by Bryant Evans. Evans outside to Leary. Down low it goes to Henderson. Jumps it out to Bailey. He fires a three. Scores! Damon Bailey, his 17th point of the ball game. Indiana 43, Kentucky 38. Here is Rhodes outside to Travis Ford. Ford. Bounce pass right to Rodney Dent. Back to Ford. Ford slides it to the wing on the right side. Back he goes left. Clears the way to Delk. Delk fakes, pulls up inside, gives to Rhodes. He had it blocked. A whistle. And the call's a jump ball. Possession turn goes to Kentucky. 2:56 to go in the half. Indiana and Kentucky are going belt buckle to belt buckle. Here's the pass in from Rhodes to Ford. Another three try. This one no good again. Rebound Rhodes. Back up. He missed it. Rebound inside. Bryant Evans got it. Evans double team clears to Pat Graham. Pat Graham from behind. Bounces to Damon Bailey. Bailey right side of the wing. Backs it back out. Shows some patience. Gives to Todd Leary. Leary top of the key. Goes to Graham inside. Graham lost the handle. Travis Ford picks it up. Ford drives on Leary. Pulls up inside and scores. And a foul. Travis Ford gets his 9th point of the ball game, and he'll go to the line with a chance at 10, and that could draw Kentucky within 2. Todd Leary called for the foul. Leary's second personal, and Todd was really responsible for that turnover down there too, Max, because the pass was behind Pat Graham, and he never got real control of it.
Well, that field goal there just a moment ago was the first one Kentucky's had in the last 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Prior to that, Indiana was on a 14-3 run.
Ford at the stripe with 9 points, looking for 10. Up it goes. It is good. 10 for Travis Ford. Indiana's lead cut to 2. Pat Graham inbounds to Todd Leary. Leary against Ford. He'll bring it up. Fell down, lost the handle. Ford puts it up. No. Rebound knocked away. Prickett's going to be called for a foul. Jared Prickett knocked over Leary. First foul on Prickett, and Indiana will get a break there and get the basketball. Todd again makes a mistake with his ball handling out there. So the Hoosiers are going to get a chance here at the free throw line as Prickett was on Leary's back. And they get a huge break there, Max, with 2:22 to go in the half.
They certainly did, and Todd Leary has had really tough time down there on the shooting end. He's had 2 shots that absolutely have rolled all the way around that thing, but have not dropped in.
But he doesn't miss from the free throw line often, and he cans his first of the year there. So Leary now gives Indiana the 3-point lead, a chance to make it 4. Second shot is around and good. Leary's got his first 2. The Hoosiers are on top by 4, 45-41. Travis Ford drives to the left, comes back to the right, fires it inside to Rhodes. Or rather, Shepard lost ball, and what do we got? Out of bounds to Kentucky. Leary tried to steal off of Shepard, but didn't get the job done, but it was a great defensive effort nevertheless. Inbounding will be Roderick Rhodes. Rhodes tries to get it in, looks, and he calls timeout. We'll keep it here with 2:11 to go in this first half. Indiana 45, Kentucky 41. This has been a tremendous first half of basketball, and it's been brought to you in part by Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running.
Well, it's interesting to see what a year does. Of course, Travis Ford, remember last year, hit 7 out of 12 3-point shots. He ended up with 29 points in that game. This afternoon, he is 1 for 3 from 3-point range, has hit a couple of baskets, but nowhere near the scoring he did last year. On the other hand, we mentioned Damon Bailey with just 3 points last year, playing in one of his poorer games. Tonight, or this afternoon, he has, in my opinion, been really outstanding as he has worked extremely hard. He's been posting low most of the time, and Tony Delk has been trying to hold him down there. Bailey right now with 3 assists. He's got 1 steal. He's got 17 points, including a 6 for 7 free throw shooting. So Damon Bailey has really done a job here. He's picked up a couple of fouls also, as Indiana has out-rebounded Kentucky 23-16 during this first 18 minutes of play. They've held Kentucky to just 32% shooting, while Indiana's shooting 43%.
Well, Max, we want to remind all Indiana fans, those that are here with radios today and those who are listening across the state, it is imperative that you people start buying tickets to the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana. It's been a pathetic ticket-selling effort thus far, and Hoosier fans are not responding like they should be.
Well, it's not only this year, it's going to hurt us in future years.
Here's the inbound. It comes to Kentucky's Dent to Shepard. Backcourt to Ford, to Prickett. Left side to Rhodes. He drives inside, puts it up, and couldn't get the roll. Rebound pulled out of there by Indiana's Damon Bailey. And Bailey is fouled by Jared Prickett. Prickett's all over it. Jared Prickett called for the foul. That will be his second, making his third. So Prickett now has 3 personals. That'll send Jamel Martinez back into the lineup now as Prickett sits down.
That's the 13th time that Kentucky's fouled in this game, but they've spread it out pretty well, and nobody has more than 2 fouls.
Damon Bailey already was 17. He fires the first free one. It's good. Bailey now has 18 points in this ball game. And the legend from Heltonville, Indiana, is living up to it this afternoon.
Well, his record against Kentucky, of course, during the career is not that good, and he does not want to go out losing to Kentucky one more time during his senior year.
Travis Ford sits down for rest. Tony Delk back in. Shepard, Rodney Dent, Roderick Rhodes, and Jamel Martinez lineup for Kentucky. Indiana has Pat Graham, Leary, Damon Bailey, Bryant Evans, and Alan Henderson. And the free throw by Bailey, good again. He's got 19. He's had himself a first half, and Indiana's lead is up to 5, 46-41. Shepard goes to Rhodes. Rhodes, left side of the circle. On the dribble now, and backcourt against Graham. Drives it right, and that's a palming or a foul? They're going to call a foul on Pat Graham. Graham and Rhodes are having some words out there right now. Pat Graham called for the personal. That will be his first of the ball game. Rhodes will go to the line. So Rhodes to the stripe. 9 points for him in this ball game. He's 1 of 2. Make it 2 out of... Now make it... I said 3 out of 4. Now he's 4 out of 5. He's got 10. He'll have 1 more shot coming. Rhodes fires the second. It's also good. He's got 11. And Brian Evans inbounding to Todd Leary. Leary brings it up the floor to Pat Graham. Graham across the sideline, gives to Brian Evans. Evans turns around, looks, gives to Bailey. Damon fell, picks himself up. We got a whistle and a foul call on Shepard. Shepard on the floor with Bailey, reaches in, and is called for the personal. That'll be his second of the ball game. And Damon Bailey, who has 19 first-half points, will go to the strike. Bailey today has missed just one time, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9. So Damon with one more shot coming. Or two, I should say. Kentucky fans are booing. Indiana fans are cheering. Damon eyes the free throw attempt and cans it. Damon Bailey with his 20th point of the afternoon. The Hoosiers are having a hot day primarily from Bailey at the line. They're 14-17 now. Damon eyes the second. It's up and in. Bailey with 21. Indiana leads 49-43. 1:30 to go, first half. Backcourt dribble, Shepard with a basketball against Leary. Drives it from the right side wing. Tried to take it baseline, couldn't. Brings it back outside. A whistle away from the ball. And we got a foul call, I believe, on Brian Evans. Evans is called for a personal. That will be his second of the ball game. So fouls are becoming a major factor. Lindemann and Steve Hart each have 3 for Indiana. Brian Evans now has 2. Sharon Wilkerson has 2. Leary has 2. And Bailey has 2.
Well, the last 9 points Kentucky has scored has been from the line. They haven't had a basket since back at the 9-minute mark.
Martinez, a good free throw shooter, asked for his first point of the day, and he got it. Martinez' first point. He'll have one more coming. And here comes Chris Harrison into the Kentucky lineup for the first time. Tony Delk will get the rest. 1:23 remaining in the half. 49-44 IU. Jamel Martinez will try to make it a 4-point game with the second toss. Up it goes and didn't get the roll. The rebound comes off to Henderson. Henderson clears to Todd Leary. Leary brings it up. Todd across the timeline. Drives it to the left side. Bounces to Damon. Bailey from the corner. Fires it good. Damon Bailey's got 23. Indiana 51. Kentucky 44. Backcourt dribble. Rhodes on the move. Rhodes drives it right. Pulls up. He travels. Roderick Rhodes travels. That's the 9th Kentucky turnover. Indiana gets the ball back. 58 seconds to go in the half. IU with a chance to add to their 7-point lead. The biggest of the game for the Hoosiers. Here's Todd Leary across the timeline. Pulls up, looks, gives to Bailey. Damon top of the key against Rhodes. Into Pat Graham. Drives low, and he is fouled. Foul call will be, I believe, on Rhodes, or they're going to call it on Shepard. I believe Shepard. Shepard called for his third foul of the ball game. And so Indiana will have Pat Graham going to the line as Pat Knight comes in, and Damon Bailey will get a rest. 47.4 seconds to go in the first half, and Bob Knight gives him one of those love taps on the back of the head. You got to love his performance. Pat Graham cans the free one. Graham's 4th point of the ball game, the Hoosiers' biggest lead of the game at 8. 52-44. Into the lineup now for Kentucky. New face in the ball game. First time today, Anthony Epps, a 6'2 freshman from Lebanon, Kentucky. As we said, Pat Knight has come in for Bailey. Pat Graham at the free throw stripe. Fires this one up, and it is good. And Pat Graham has 5 points. And Indiana has its biggest lead, 53-44. Here is Epps across the timeline against Leary. Right side pass goes to Rodney Dent. Thrown away. Brian Evans steals. He's on a break. He lays it up and he scores! Brian Evans has 10. Indiana leads by 11. 55-44 with 25 seconds to go in the half. Epps outside to Chris Harrison. Downloaded Dent. Dent turns around. Whistle blows. Traveling. The turnover against Kentucky gives Indiana the ball back with 18 seconds to go in the half. The Hoosier fans are all on their feet. Full court pressure. Damon Bailey comes back into the lineup now. Bailey back in. Who's he in for? It's Alan Henderson who'll go to the sideline. Todd Leary will inbound. Todd looks, gets it to Pat Knight. He turns, dribbles it up the floor. Pat stops, bounces away. A traveling call on Pat Knight. 13.6 seconds to go. Henderson will come back in the ball game. Henderson checks back in, and Bailey goes back to the sideline. So Kentucky gets another crack at whittling the lead before the halftime break. The inbound to Epps. Down to 10 seconds. Epps rocks it across the timeline. Epps starts it left, tried to drive it inside, kicks it out to Rhodes. Rhodes fakes, he fires, and he missed it. That's the end of the first half of play. Hoosier fans are loving every moment of this first half. They lead at halftime at the Hoosier Dome before 38,500, 55-44 over the number one ranked Kentucky Wildcats. We'll be back to recap the first half scoring as they begin the Jeep Eagle halftime show. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
This is day 2. TWA's Comfort Class replaces coach, in-flight passenger interviews.
Well, I travel a lot for business. I go to trade shows to promote our products, and I feel like I have much more room in my seat. And that was my first thought when I sat down.
Well, I thought my company had booked me in the wrong part of the airplane. It's almost as much room as first class. I'd say it's a coach with a first class atmosphere.
Plenty of room in this section to do my daily work. Plenty of room for a laptop, and still have the tray table in front of you down, and have lots of knee room and leg space.
This is the best coach class that I've ever experienced in our country, and I've flown most of the airlines that exist in the United States.
We keep America running.
Come to your local Napa Auto Parts store for great holiday gift ideas like the Napa Sound Machine toy pickup with flashing lights and real truck sounds, just $16.99. And Rayovac heavy-duty battery bonus packs, 8 size D or 12 size AA batteries, your choice, just $2.99 each. Plus the Napa Evercraft 61-piece socket set, just $29.99. So stop by your participating Napa Auto Parts store.
We keep America running.
Just met the young folks who bought the farmhouse next door. They're from the city. He was wiring in a hot tub spa, and she asked me if I was a member of the REMC club. I had to laugh. Told her that I was here in 36 when the co-op first strung wire to the farm, and that REMC's been better than a power company all these years, more like a neighbor. They'll do okay out here, these two, because they understand. With electricity, the country's as nice as the city, only better. Thank you, REMC.
Well, back to the sold-out Hoosier Dome this afternoon, where Indiana is a 55-44 leader over the Kentucky Wildcats. And this Hoosier crowd has had something to celebrate here in the first half of play. Number one Kentucky right now on the ropes, but you know they're going to make a run in the second half. Let's take a look at the scoring individually in the first half of play. First of all, for Kentucky, Travis Ford has fired in 10 first-half points that include 3 free throws, 1 3-point field goal, and 2 regular field goals. 10 points for Ford, 2 personal fouls. Tony Delk has 3 field goals in the first half and 1 free throw. 2 of his field goals were 3-pointers. He has 9 points and 2 personal fouls. Rodney Dent did not score in the first half. He has 1 foul. Roderick Rhodes threw in 3 field goals in the first half, 4 free throws, or check that, make it 5 free throws, and he has 11 first half points with 1 personal foul. Jared Prickett has 1 field goal, 3 free throws, 5 first half points, and 3 personal fouls. Jeff Brasso has fired in a field goal, a 3-point field goal, 2 free throws, 5 first half points, 2 personal fouls. Andre Riddick with a field goal and a free throw, 3 points at the break, and no fouls. Jamel Martinez, a free throw for 1 point, 2 personals. Anthony Epps played briefly, did not score or foul. And Jeff Shepard with no points and 3 fouls in the first half of play. So the Kentucky Wildcats being led by Roderick Rhodes with 11, Travis Ford with 10. For Indiana in the first half, Pat Graham had a 3-point field goal and 2 free throws, 5 first half points, and 1 foul. Todd Leary, a pair of free throws for 2 points and 2 fouls. Alan Henderson, 2 field goals, 2 free throws, 6 points, no fouls. Todd Lindemann, 2 field goals, 4 points, 3 fouls. Steve Hart, 1 3-point field goal, 3 points, and 3 fouls. Pat Knight did not score, nor did he foul. Brian Evans picked up 10 first-half points on 4 field goals and a free throw. One of those fielders was a 3-pointer. He has 10 points and 2 fouls. And Sharon Wilkerson with a field goal, 2 points, and 2 personal fouls, while Richard Mandeville did not score and did not foul. But the big gun of the first half for Indiana, in addition to Evans, has been the performance of Damon Bailey. Bailey has fired home 1 3-point field goal. He also has 3, 4, 5 regular field goals, and he's tossed in 3, 6, 9, 10 free throws, a 23-point first-half effort by Damon Bailey. He has simply been phenomenal. So Bailey with 23, Brian Evans with 10 lead Indiana.
Well, Don, Indiana has shot 46% in that first half on 17 of 37. Kentucky just 12 of 39, just 31%. 3 points, Indiana 4 of 6. Kentucky is 4 of 10. Free throws, 17 of 20 for Indiana. Kentucky 16 of 22. The Hoosiers are out-rebounding Kentucky 25 to 17. Evans has 6. Bailey has 5. Indiana has turned it over 14 times. Kentucky has turned it over 10 times. Alan Henderson with 4 rebounds to be third on the Hoosiers list. Individually, Henderson is 4 of 8. Lindemann is 2 of 6. Bailey is 6 of 8. Pat Graham has hit 1 out of 3. Todd Leary 0 for 3. Steve Hart 1 for 4. And Sharon Wilkerson is 1 for 2. So Indiana has held the upper hand. Roderick Rhodes 3 of 11. Prickett 1 of 1. Dent is 0 for 3. Travis Ford just 3 of 9. And Tony Delk is 3 of 10. As Indiana down by 7 points, 33 to 26, has come on to take an 11-point lead at halftime, 55 to 44.
All right, Max, we'll be back with our halftime guest, our Hooks Drugstore's halftime guest in a moment. You're listening to Indiana University basketball.
It's true. For years, Zox was primarily known for the delicious variety of hamburgers, roasted chicken, and root beer. But have you been to Zox lately? Jim Zock has added filet mignon, T-bone, ribeye, New York strip, and sirloin steaks. Also cod fillet dinners, Alaskan pollock, deep-fried shrimp, roasted catfish, and blazing redfish dinners. Pork chops, ham steak, beef, and seafood combination platters, even beer or wine with your meal. Come see what you're missing at Zox Family Restaurant. Something good for everyone on 231 South Edge of Crawfordsville.
Horner's Corner has used trucks?
They sure do. In fact, they have about the largest inventory of used trucks in the area.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a good supply of late-model Dodge Dakotas and even a 1993 Dodge Ram 3/4-ton pickup. And at the bargain lot, they have a good supply of work trucks, all priced so a working man can afford them. And you can even make your payments right there.
I guess that I'll be heading down to Horner's for my next truck.
That's Horner's Corner and Horner's Bargain Lot in downtown Crawfordsville.
The floor covering shop proves itself on your floors. Just ask our customers.
Did you find the quality of service and material you expected from the floor covering shop?
Yes, we did, and it was really great because we didn't have to go out of town. We could buy it locally and still find the best quality in the material. It was wonderful.
I sure did. I had a home in the mountains before I moved here. And the same kind of carpet that I had put in there was also put in here. And I was very pleased.
Floor covering shop, 134 West Main.
Look up the definition of service in the dictionary, and it says, C. Thompson Hopper and Associates. Well, at least it does in my dictionary. And when it comes to insurance service, they are a very good example. The people at Thompson Hopper and Associates have learned through the years that people want an insurance agent that works for you, cares about you, and helps you get the best insurance service for you. Got an insurance question? Call Thompson Hopper and Associates, 362-8858.
We're listening to 103.9 FM WIMC and 1550 AM WCVL Crawfordsville.
Well, as we mentioned, the Hoosiers leading it by a 55-44 margin at halftime, and we have as our guest today Preston Friedley, who is president of the Shreveport Convention and Tourist Bureau, who has been with the Independence Bowl since it started a number of years ago, and Preston, tell us what we're going to find out in Shreveport.
Well, Max, I think what you're about to see is a great football game when Indiana puts on and comes down and puts on a game against Virginia Tech. We've got two fine top 25 football teams. We've never had that kind of matchup in Shreveport, Louisiana before in the Independence Bowl. And I think the fans locally are really buying tickets. We've almost reached a 20,000 ticket mark for us locally. They know they're going to see fine football when they see Indiana University come down and play Virginia Tech. So the community is really excited about this.
What, from Indiana's standpoint, the Indiana fans, what are they going to find when they get to Shreveport?
Well, I think what they're going to find is a lot of Louisiana Cajuns down there who are ready to show them a good time and a lot of festivities. We're putting on a really show. We make this a festival for the fans. We really honor the teams, the players, and make this a reward for them to understand that they're really being given a bonus here. They've shown that they're a great football team and they're ready to come on down. And I hope the fans will come and support the team. We're gonna have a lot of pregame activities, a lot of festival activities for them. We put on a pregame food festival for them that they can learn how to eat all those Louisiana crawfish. We'll teach them how to twist the heads and suck the tails, and we'll really get them out there and get them excited. We're going to have Sandra Day O'Connor, the Supreme Court Justice of the United States, is coming to the game to be honored as the Spirit of Independence Award. We're really excited about that. Terry Bradshaw should be attending the Minuteman Luncheon prior to the game, and we also got a pep rally in which the two bands will face off along with each other right prior to game night. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
I guess the question that most of our fans want, how warm is it in Shreveport?
Well, believe it or not, when I left Shreveport yesterday, it was 70 degrees, and the low usually is getting around 45. The last 2 years, at kickoff, we have been in the mid-60s, so we're looking for a really beautiful sunny game on New Year's Eve. We kick off at around 11:30. I believe that's 12:30 your time up here in the east, and it's really exciting for us because we've managed to always have a great experience with the Independence Bowl. And I told you a little earlier, I said I'm very honored to come here and watch this basketball game because no independence-bound team that I've ever come and watched them play basketball has ever lost. So I think Kentucky can pack it up right now and go on in. Indiana, this is a guaranteed win for them.
Well, we hope so. If we are, we'll pack you around and take you with us.
I'll go with you. Let me tell you, you got a great program here in basketball, but you got a great program, and Coach Mallory has done a magnificent job with the football team, and I would hope that the fans throughout the entire state of Indiana, I would challenge them today. Right now, Virginia Tech has bought more tickets, and it looks like maybe more Virginia Tech fans might be coming. But let me make 2 points to the group. Number one, the weather, I tell you, will be nice. I hope, please come, bring layered clothes, be prepared. Don't get frustrated right now in hotel rooms. We have about 5,000 hotel rooms in our community, but we have about 10,000. Get out that map and look around. Marshall, Texas, Jefferson, Texas, Ruston, Louisiana, Minden, Natchitoches, Louisiana. Some beautiful little cities just on the outskirts of town with an additional 10,000 rooms so that they can get in there. We're only 2.5, 3 hours from Dallas, Texas. Don't forget that. So it's an easy flight to get in. If you want to rent a car and drive on over, you can do it. But come and see this football game. It's going to be a great activity for us, and we're really excited and we're honored to have Indiana University playing in the Independence Bowl.
Well, I can see why you're the president of the Convention and Tourist Bureau. You're enthused about Shreveport. You must think that's a great place.
It's a great place. It's not New Orleans. It's up in the northwest corner of the state. It's a great part of Louisiana. We love to say, laissez le bon temps rouler in Louisiana. Up in the north, we say, let the good times roll. We're going to put on a party for those fans that come to the Independence Bowl, and I hope that they'll support their Indiana football team.
Well, I can tell you this. Our football team is excited about coming, and we are going to be down there, and we're going to make sure that we play our very best, and I'm sure that we'll give you a good show as far as that's concerned.
Well, you tell them to come on down. We're going to feed them well and make sure they have a great time in Louisiana.
All right, thank you very
Max.
much. All right, Preston Friedley, who is president of the Convention and Tourist Bureau down in Shreveport, visiting with us here at halftime, and obviously he is fired up about the Independence Bowl, as are the Hoosier football team, as is the Hoosier football team, as they have started to get prepared now for this bowl game, which is coming up on December 31st. Of course, it's at 12:30 in the afternoon, and by playing in the afternoon, some of those people who have talked about weather, certainly the afternoon is going to be a much warmer time than the night game that most of us remember when we went to Memphis and some other places. So we're looking forward to going down, and we certainly hope that many of our fans will buy the tickets and will come out to see the Hoosiers play. Well, Indiana has returned to the playing court now. The second half is going to be getting underway very shortly. In that first half, officially, Indiana shot 17 of 37 from the field. That's 45.9%. For Kentucky, they shot 12 of 39, just 30.8%. Kentucky 4 of 12 from three-point range. Indiana 4 of 6. From the foul line, Indiana was 17 of 20, Kentucky 16 of 22. Indiana out-rebounding Kentucky 25-17, each team with 9 offensive rebounds in this game. Turnovers, Indiana turned it over 14 times, Kentucky 10.
All right, we'll be back with the start of our second half in a moment as we continue our Hooks Drug Store's halftime show. And we'll be back in a moment. This is the Indiana University Basketball Network from Learfield Sports.
Insurance fraud is a serious problem, costing policyholders and their companies more than $18 billion last year. It involves everything from staged accidents to arson to false medical claims. State Farm has long been a leader in the fight against fraud, and now we're stepping up the attack by working with law enforcement agencies to help prosecute these criminals. Because when they get away with fraud, everyone pays. This message brought to you by State Farm and your local State Farm agents.
You can count on Hooks.
Now, Hooks gives you more with RX Watch. The RX Watch computer does more than other drugstore computers. It checks your medication against pre-identified health conditions. It only takes a minute to sign up, and it's free. With RX Watch, we do more than just fill your prescription. Hooks, more of what a drugstore is for.
When you want more, Hooks gives you more. More of what a drugstore is for. Hooks.
All right, sports fans, it's time for another official game update from your Hoosier Lottery. Play the Hoosier Lottery's new game called Lucky 5. Just pick 5 of 36 numbers and you get 2 chances for $1 to win $50,000. That's $50,000. With that kind of money, you can travel in style to every game on your favorite team's schedule. Drawings are on Tuesday and Fridays. So before the next drawing, get to your nearest Hoosier Lottery retailer and play new Lucky 5 for a chance to win $50,000. Somebody's going to win, and it may as well be you. $50,000 won't change your life, but it sure can make your day. Remember, you gotta play to win.
State Farm Insurance, a major supporter of women's athletics, is pleased to bring the Indiana Hoosier Women's Sports Update. Each week, we'll bring you the latest from IU Women's Athletics. Well, the Indiana women's basketball team continues play in the Full of Pep Point Classic later on today. IU opened the 4-team tournament with a game against Morehead State last night. Other clubs taking part in this tournament include Northern Iowa and Western Michigan. That's an IU Women's Sports Update brought to you by State Farm Insurance, a major supporter of women's athletics.
Well, back once again at the Hoosier Dome as we're about to get the second half of basketball underway. Indiana 55-44 leader over the Kentucky Wildcats. Our guest at halftime receive a gift certificate from D-Dance Gentlemen's and Ladies Clothier of Indianapolis. D-Dance has updated classic clothing, sportswear, and accessories for men and women. They're open daily Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6 and on Thursday till 9. That's D-Dance Clothing to complement your lifestyle at West 86th Street at Township Line Road and the North Willow Mall in Indianapolis. Well, we are set for the second half start. Indiana, of course, will have the ball to start the second half. It's the possession turn change for IU. Steve Hart, Todd Leary, Damon Bailey, Todd Lindeman, and Brian Evans, the lineup for IU. Here is Todd Leary across the timeline, gives to Steve Hart, 15-footer, no good. Rebound comes off the Rodney Dent for Kentucky. Off to Travis Ford, here come the Wildcats. Ford in backcourt, slides it right, bounces it inside to Jared Prickett, back to Ford for a 3-try, and it's no good, and the rebound to Todd Lindeman. Lindeman had it knocked away, lost the handle. Rhodes comes up with it to Ford. Ford drives it baseline, pulls up inside and got it. Travis Ford's got his 12th point. Now, Indiana has Leary to Evans, back to Leary, and Todd brings it down against Ford across the timeline. Leary in backcourt slows it up. 55-46 score as Evans takes the baseline left. Block shot, and it's goaltender. Brian Evans will get credit for his 12th point on a goaltend by Kentucky. So Indiana with the basketball, or rather Kentucky with the basketball, as Indiana leads 57-46. Ford the other way. Takes it left to Prickett, and Brian Evans steps in and steals. A whistle. What do we got? Apparently Evans stepped on the out-of-bounds line. Pretty good by Brian, but Kentucky will have the basketball. Now, Prickett fires backcourt to Ford. Travis Ford slides it right, comes left to Delk. 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound, pulled out of there by Brian Evans. Everybody was blocking out, and nobody was going for the ball. Here's Leary. Todd, backcourt on the move. Takes it toward the right side, pulls up, looks for help. Turns, clears to Brian Evans. Evans down to Hart. Faded away 15-footer, got it! Steve Hart Fires home his second field goal of the game, his 5th point. Here is Roderick Rhodes, outside pass to Tony Delk. Delk now to Ford. Ford looks inside. Goes right to Brodney Dent, back to Ford. Ford, traveling violation on Travis Ford. That's the 11th Kentucky turnover, and Indiana with a 59-46 13-point lead right now. Inbound pass Leary to Lindemann, back to Leary. Todd drives it inside, gives it off to Brian Evans. He fakes. Can't get the shot away, then drives baseline. Pulls up inside. Reverse layup is good. What a play by Brian Evans. Evans with 14. Indiana 61, Kentucky 46. The Hoosiers spread the lead, and we got a whistle away from the ball, and the foul is on Steve Hart. Hart is called for the personal. That'll be his 4th of the ball game. So Hart now has 4, and Indiana could lose one of their key people quickness-wise, Max. That's the one thing Hart does, give you some quickness.
Well, they're using him in the offense right now, too. They're bringing him across the top, and they're feeding him. He's open. He's hit 1 out of 2 this half.
Bob Knight's not making the change at this point. Now he looks down the bench. Here's Travis Ford in backcourt for the Wildcats. Outside pass goes to Jeff Shepard, the freshman. Shepard circles left side. He gives it to Prickett. Down low to Dent. Dent inside, turns around, clears it out to Prickett. He fires a 3. It's no good. Rebound Todd Leary for IU. Leary down the floor quickly. Slows in backcourt. Larry almost lost it, did. Brian Evans comes up with it. Evans spins in the circle, gives it inside to Damon Bailey. He fakes, he puts it up inside, kicked out of bounds. It'll belong to IU. Indiana will have it. Alan Henderson will check in, and Steve Hart will go to the sidelines. Hart with a quick couple of baskets, or 1 basket here in the second half, picks up his 4th foul. Here's a shot by Leary. He misses. Rebound Lindemann. Back up he goes. Missed it. Got his own rebound. Fights for it. Got it back. Pulls it out of there. Knocked away and picked up by Kentucky. Shepard down the floor to Ford. Travis Ford inside. Flies it out to Prickett. Back to Ford. Ford circles. Drives into the paint. Gives it off inside to Rhodes. Block shot by Brian Evans and a foul. Roderick Rhodes will go to the free throw line as Brian Evans picks up his 3rd foul. So 3 fouls now on Brian Evans as Roderick Rhodes will get a couple of shots at the stripe. Rhodes today with 11 points in this ball game, and he's hit 5 out of 6 from the line.
Indiana now with 3 players with foul troubles. Evans with 3, Lindemann with 3, and Hart with 4.
Rhodes fires the first one. He got it. Rhodes now with 12 points, and I have 1 more shot coming. It is 61-47. Indiana by 14, now 13 as he hit a mode. So Roderick Rhodes has his 13th point of the ball game. Kentucky leads. Here's Brian Evans to Todd Leary. They try to break the press, and down goes Leary, and the foul called on Roderick Rhodes. Rhodes will pick up the personal. That will be his 2nd of the ball game. And Indiana will get the basketball out of bounds. Damon Bailey will trigger it in to Todd Leary. Leary will bring it back up across the timeline. Leary against Ford, takes it left side, bouncer to Brian Evans. He fires a 3. He missed it, and the rebound comes away to Henderson. Henderson fires it back up, and he couldn't get it. The rebound out of bounds, and it'll belong to Indiana. 17:07 on the clock. Indiana leads 61-48. They've stretched their lead in the second half, but here come 2 new faces for Kentucky as Brassow and Jamel Martinez replace Prickett and Rhodes.
Indiana out-rebounding Kentucky 31-18.
Leary and Evans. He fires the shot. Got it! Brian Evans has his 16th point. He's got 3 second-half baskets already. Here is Brassow out the floor, now to Martinez. Martinez, top of the key, left side to Ford. Ford looks in, fires it outside to Shepard. Now goes to Brassow. 3 on the way, no good. Rebound, Dent up and in. Rodney Dent, big basket there, his 1st points of the ball game. Now Damon Bailey's fouled by Travis Ford. Travis Ford picks up number 3. And fouls may play a big part here in the second half, Max.
Well, they certainly are, and you can see now Kentucky's going to the 3-point shot more. Their first, out of their first 4, 3 of them were 3-point shots.
Here's Leary in backcourt against the double team. Looks for help, in trouble, finally finds Bailey. Damon now gets it across the timeline to Brian Evans down low. He spins, fakes, hook shot, good! Brian Evans again. He's got 18. Indiana leads at 65-50. 16:20 left. Here's Travis Ford in the lane, goes back outside of Shepard. He fires it out of bounds. It'll belong, nope, to Kentucky. Indiana touched it last. I think Brian Evans got a hand.
Brian Evans looks like he needs a breather, too. He's getting a substitution. Let's see if it's for Brian.
Pat Graham will check into the Hoosier lineup. Andre Riddick for Kentucky. Brian Evans goes to the sideline. 4 field goals for Evans here in the second half. Evans gets a standing ovation as he goes to the sideline.
He has to take himself out. He is tired.
The inbound comes to Ford. Ford circling right side, drives it to the baseline, brings it back out to Martinez, to Shepard, to Brassow left wing. Down low to Andre Riddick. He lost the handle, got it back, gives it out to Brassow, now to Ford. Ford drives it in the lane, pulls up and fires and misses. Rebound Riddick, back up, no. Rebound Todd Lindeman for IU. What do we got? A traveling violation, a goal on Lindeman. Timeout is called. Score reads Indiana 65, Kentucky 50 with 15:55 to go. We'll be back after we pause for the 60-second timeout. You're listening to Indiana University basketball.
Have you heard? There's a new member of the family at Zock's Family Restaurant. Yes, Zock's has added a delicious new bacon-wrapped pork fillet to their dinner menu. It's a full 7-ounce portion that's cooked to perfection and comes with your choice of potato, salad, and dinner rolls. And Zock's new bacon-wrapped pork fillet dinner is reasonably priced at just $5.99. Stop in and try it. You'll like it. And bring the family. There's something good for everyone at Zock's Family Restaurant on 231 at the south edge of Crawfordsville. Do you have water spots on your dishes and glassware? Are your clothes dull and dingy after laundering? Does your skin feel dry and rough? If so, you need a Puritan water conditioning unit. Puritan soft water turns clothes whiter and makes dishes sparkle. Puritan soft water keeps your skin smooth and your hair shining. Puritan has over 40 models to choose from. Puritan Water Conditioning, 216 Lafayette Avenue, Crawfordsville. Phone 362-6340. Puritan, another name for soft water.
Well, back once again at the Hoosier Dome, where Indiana has taken a 15-point lead over Kentucky with 15:55 to go in the game. It is 65-50 IU. And this Hoosier basketball brought to you in part by Pioneer Hybrid International, Incorporated. Talk to your Pioneer sales rep today and get the heart of a winner on your side.
Well, Indiana this half is 5 of 10, 50%. Kentucky is just 2 of 7 this half, just 28%. They've taken 4 3-point shots out of the 8 they put up there. 38,197 are watching this game here today.
Kentucky basketball underneath their own hoop. Jeff Brassow will inbound for the Wildcats. Riddick, Martinez, Travis Ford, and Jeff Shepard are the lineup right now for Kentucky. Evans, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a block shot, 5, what is that?
It's a good question.
Sorry. Is that a steal?
1 steal.
1 steal. And Evans this afternoon has scored 18 points, 4 of those field goals coming here in the second half. Brassow will inbound. Indiana fans are screaming. Brassow gets it into Andre Riddick. Riddick outside to Jeff Shepard. Shepard circles right side to Brassow on the wing. Down low to Ford. Ford brings it back against Leary. Bounces to Martinez. Inside to Riddick. Turns, fires, and got it. Andre Riddick scores his 5th point of the ball game as Kentucky goes low. Here's Damon Bailey up across the timeline. And a foul is going to be called on Jeff Shepard. That'll be his 4th. Shepard now picks up his 4th foul of the ball game. And Indiana will have the basketball out of bounds on the near sideline. Team foul number 3, it's called. I think that might be the 4th. Here comes Brian Evans back in. 3rd team foul against Kentucky. Indiana ball out of bounds, and coming back in the game is Tony Delk now as Jeff Shepard with 4 fouls will go to the sideline.
Looks as if Kentucky may be trying to go low, working against Lindeman.
Here's the inbound. It comes to Todd Leary. Leary, backcourt spin dribble against the Ford to Bailey. He fires the jump shot way off. Rebound, Pat Graham fakes, puts it back up. Rebound to Brian Evans. No. Rebound battle for and pulled out of there by Andre Riddick. Riddick clears to Travis Ford. Ford drives it right side, bounces low into Brassow. He turns, or rather Jamel Martinez, back out to Ford. He pumps a 3-pointer and got it. Travis Ford banks home his 15th point of the ball game, and that's his second 3 of this contest. Full court pressure. Bailey trying to stay out of trouble, and he gets it across the timeline in a hurry. Gets it to Alan Henderson. Henderson to Brian Evans. Puts it up. No, but a foul. Foul will be called against the Kentucky Wildcats. And let's see on who. Brassow is called for the foul. That's his third of the ball game. And Indiana will get some free tosses coming here as Brian Evans will go to the line. Sharon Wilkerson, who sat out a good part of the first half with 2 personals, now comes in, and Todd Leary will take a rest.
Well, you can see Kentucky is definitely now starting to go more and more to that three-point shot, and Ford, a guy who was really tough last year, has now hit a couple in this game.
Evans at the line with 18 and now 19. Brian Evans having a great ball game, and he has come up with a tremendous effort here early in the second half. Second shot by Brian, no good this time. Rebound comes long to Andre Riddick for Kentucky. Out the Delk to Ford. Here come the Wildcats. They trail by 12, or make it 11, 66-55. Bounce pass comes off to Jamel Martinez. Outside pass knocked away, but picked back up by Riddick. Now off to Martinez. He drives left, gives to Delk. Tony Delk. Inside to Riddick, batted away. A whistle. What do we got? Uh-oh. Brian Evans just got his 4th. Brian Evans just picked up number 4, and that is not good news for the Hoosiers because Evans has been playing well. So Evans now with 4. He's the second Hoosier with 4, Steve Hart being the other. Jeff Brassow will inbound. Brassow looks, fires backcourt. It comes off to Martinez. Now to Ford. Ford, top of the key. Lets another 3 fly. No good this time. Rebound long goes to Brassow. Back to Ford. Another bomb is good. Travis Ford with his second try in a row, and he's got 18 now. And suddenly the lead is down to 8 at 66-58. Here's Sharon Wilkerson. Takes it left to Pat Graham. Baseline, a whistle. Blocking foul on Kentucky. Richard Mandeville getting set to come in. Inbound. Well, let's see who the foul is on first of all. First foul goes on Andre Riddick this afternoon. Indiana will have it out of bounds. Pat Graham will trigger it, gets it in to Damon Bailey. Bailey turns around, looks for help. Damon now brings it out on the dribble. Looks at left, comes back to the outside, top of the key dribble. Drives it right against Delk, takes it low, puts it up. Nope. Ball batted away, scramble for the loose ball inside. And finally they call a jump ball. And Indiana, nope, it'll be Kentucky basketball. Damon Bailey on the floor. Andre Riddick on the floor. And Kentucky will have the ball. 17 Hoosier turnovers. Indiana right now, a precarious 8-point lead. It was 15 minutes ago. The Wildcat fans come to their feet. Travis Ford, who's trying to spark them. He bounces to Delk. Tony Delk brings it back out to Martinez. Martinez looks low for Riddick. Back he goes, throw it away. Jamel Martinez threw it away. Brassow never hung on, and Indiana will get it. Damon Bailey inbounds to Graham, back to Damon. Damon will bring it across the timeline. Bailey in backcourt. Starts at left, goes to Pat Graham. 3 on the way, no good. High off the rim, rebound comes to Andre Riddick for Kentucky. Back to Ford, up court to Martinez. He tries to drive, and it's a blocking, nope, it's a charge. Jamel Martinez slammed into Damon Bailey. Martinez picks up his 3rd foul of the ball game. Well, you knew the run was going to come, and it's come. And Kentucky trails by 8. It's 66-58, 13-25, and neither team in the last couple of possessions has been able to score. Now Sharon Wilkerson will inbound against the press. He fires to Pat Graham. Graham now back to Wilkerson. Sharon will try to bring it up. He works against Prickett, gets it across the timeline. Goes to Pat Graham with a pass. Patton backcourt. He starts it right, bounces to Damon. Down low, puts it up, and missed it, but a foul. Oh, no, a travel. Bob Knight saying he got shoved, but the official says it was a travel. And Kentucky gets another ball, another chance. Indiana's lead at 8. Here's Travis Ford. Guarded by Wilkerson. Bounces to Brassow. He lost it out of bounds again. Well, neither club, Max, is able to take advantage here in the last couple of minutes.
Both of them have 4 turnovers this half.
Sharon Wilkerson now with the ball in backcourt for Indiana. Sharon, right side to Bailey, a foul away from the basketball, is going to be called against who? Let's see. Looks like it's against Indiana. It's on Richard Mandeville. So the Hoosiers turn it over. Man, what a rash of turnovers suddenly in the last 3 minutes. 12:54 to go. Indiana by 8. Here's Ford for Kentucky. Travis Ford spins back right, gives to Delk. 3-point bomb is good. Tony Delk fired that one in from 25. He's got his 12th point of the game and his 3rd three. And they steal the ball. Here is Sharon Wilkerson fouling Prickett, and it's going to be a 3-point play possibility. Indiana's lead whittled to 3 at 66-63. And Jared Prickett will go to the line. 7 points in the ball game. And Prickett will have a chance to cut it to 2. So the Kentucky Wildcats have roared back from 15 down. Lindemann's going to check in. Wilkerson will go to the sideline. He has been called for his 3rd personal foul. And Indiana suddenly is struggling. Here comes Mandeville to the sideline. Todd Leary is back in along with Lindemann. So Prickett at the strike. He fires. It's no good. The rebound comes off the Bailey. Damon turns around against the double team, brings it up to Pat Graham. Graham across the timeline, drives it inside to Henderson. Slam dunk! Henderson's got his 8th point of the ball game. 68-63. For a moment, it stems the run by the Wildcats. Ford to Prickett. Jared Prickett drives it inside, passes out the Ford, a 3 on the way. No good, and the rebound, Prickett for Kentucky again. Out to Ford. Ford crosses the Brasso. Back to Ford in backcourt. Travis Ford drives it left side, bounces it out to Brasso to Delk. Tony Delk drives back to Brasso, and he fires a 3. It's no good, and Henderson's got the rebound, and Prickett's got the foul. That is personal foul number 4 on Jared Prickett. And so Prickett called for his 4th. Indiana has the ball back with a 1-1 situation. 11:53 to go in this basketball game. The Hoosiers lead is at 5 at 68-63.
Well, Kentucky has gone to the 3-point shot. They've taken 9 of them already in this half. In the first half, they only shot 10 all the first half. They've hit on 3 of them, and it was those 3 3-pointers that brought them back to within 3 points a moment ago.
Alan Henderson will be at the stripe, trying to add to the Hoosier lead, and they need them all. Henderson fires the free one and a 1-1. It's no good, and the rebound comes off to Andre Rudy. Up the floor, Ford to Roderick Rhodes. He fires it out to Ford, now to Delk. Delk fires a 3-pointer. No good. Rebound, Pat Graham for Indiana. Graham, he'll bring it up. Pat across the timeline. Backcourt gives to Henderson, right wing. Henderson had it knocked away. It goes out of bounds. It'll belong to IU. Well, this ball game is brought to you by State Farm Insurance and the more than 500 State Farm agents throughout Indiana. For all your family insurance needs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and we've got a time. Score, IU 68, Kentucky 63. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
Who deserves to be called a sports legend? Ask 20 different fans and you'll get 20 different answers. But there's one legend everyone can agree on. The legendary Jeep Wrangler. With a shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive system, the choice of 2 powerful engines, and a frame specifically designed for off-road driving, it's easy to see what this legend is made of. And it's even easier to get into with the great deals now being offered at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. Jeep is a registered trademark of the Chrysler Corporation.
What happens when you crash test a car at 35 miles an hour? You get airbags, safer fuel tanks, child restraints. The testing conducted by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, co-founded by State Farm, helped make these and many other safety advances a reality. And State Farm has helped fund a new safety research center for the Institute, because we want to help make sure that the only accident you ever have is one you can walk away from. This message brought to you by State Farm and your local State Farm agents.
Well, back here at the Hoosier Dome, it's Indiana 68, Kentucky 63. We've got 11 minutes, 30 seconds of charge up Indiana and Kentucky basketball left.
Well, Indiana for this half now shooting 43% on 6 of 14. Kentucky 7 of 17, 41%. For the game now, Kentucky hitting 31% from three-point range on 7 of 22 shots from three-point range. Indiana's taken only 9, hit on 4 of those. So it's Kentucky going back to a style that won them some games earlier and certainly gave Indiana lots of problems in the past. That's the three-point shot. Indiana trying to hold on for dear life.
Well, all right, Hoosier fans, hold on to your seats for this week's official game update, brought to you by our own Hoosier Lottery. Lotto Cash is $1 million. That's all cash paid to you all at once, and Powerball an estimated $32 million. Remember, someone's going to win. It might as well be you, so play Lotto Cash and Powerball right here in Indiana.
Don, since Evans went out, Kentucky's been on an 8-2 run, so obviously Brian Evans is an important player in Indiana.
Todd Leary, Sharon Wilkerson, Pat Graham, Todd Lindeman, and Alan Henderson, the lineup for IU right now. Here's Leary, takes it left side on the dribble. Stops, looks in, gives to Lindeman. Todd turns around, looks for help, and he'll clear it to Todd Leary. Leary down low to Pat Graham, turn around, 10-footer, good! Pat Graham, a huge basket, is 7-point in Indiana. 70, Kentucky 63. Rhodes the other way. He fires it home. Roderick Rhodes with his 15th point. Full court pressure. Here's Leary, gets it up court to Pat Graham. Graham into Alan Henderson, puts it up and scores! Alan Henderson's got 10. Indiana beat the press, 72-65 IU. Travis Ford, backcourt dribble. Ford against Leary. Takes it left side to Martinez. Martinez, top of the key, goes back to Rhodes. Down low to Andre Riddick. A whistle blows, what do we got? Shot's not going to count. The foul's going to be called on Alan Henderson, I believe. Alan Henderson will pick up his first foul of this ball game. So Kentucky, and the foul was not committed in the act of shooting, so Indiana, or rather Kentucky, should get the ball out of bounds. They will. That's the 16th foul against Indiana. Now the officials, they blew the horn, but it was for no reason, so they wave it off, and now the ball in Roderick Rhodes' hands to inbound. He gets it to Ford. Ford outside to Martinez. Martinez lost the handle, got it back. Martinez on the dribble left. Looks it low. Comes back right to Riddick. Riddick looks inside. He'll bring it outside to Ford. Ford turns around, looks at the shot clock at 22. Driving right forward. Passes outside to Riddick. Riddick jumps it up and missed it. Rebound Martinez up and in. Jamel Martinez with his third point of the ball game. Inbounding will be Pat Graham. Gets it into Henderson. Henderson turns around, clears to Graham. Pat tries to bring it up the floor, gets it to Todd Leary. Leary across the timeline. Todd drives it left side. Down to the wing, down inside to Henderson. He fakes one dribble, turns around, puts the shot up, and scores! Henderson's got 12. Indiana 74, Kentucky 67. Indiana answering now. 9:50 to go in the ball game. Ford in backcourt on the dribble. Ford looks for Dell, can't find him, drives it right side. Looks for the three, can't get it. Goes to Rhodes, the ball stripped and a foul. Sharon Wilkerson will be called for the personal. That will be his fourth. So Wilkerson has picked up 4. And here comes Damon Bailey into the lineup as Kentucky now has the 1 in bonus in effect. Bailey checks in for Sharon Wilkerson, who goes to the sideline. So he and freshman Steve Hart each have 4 personal fouls. At the line is Roderick Rhodes, who has 15 points in this ball game, and he has played well. Bailey, who had 23 in the first half, has been held scoreless in the second half as Rhodes misses that one.
Matter of fact, he's only taken 1 shot, Damon Bailey, in the second half.
Rhodes eyes for the second and got it. Roderick Rhodes, 16th point. Indiana leads at 74-68. Leary inbounds to Lindeman, back to Todd Leary. Leary up court to Damon Bailey. Bailey across the timeline quickly. Takes it inside, turns it back out to Leary. Leary with the basketball, directs some traffic down. He drives it right to Bailey in the corner. Damon looks underneath. Can't find Lindeman. Gives it outside to Leary. Todd Leary finds Bailey again. Damon fakes, 1 dribble, turns around, looks for help. Bounces low to Alan Henderson. Henderson drives inside, and he gets the ball hammered away. But a foul will be called on Martinez. And on Martinez, that would be his fourth. Jamel Martinez just picked up his 4th foul of the ball game. So the Wildcats have 2 players with 4. And Alan Henderson, the man who goes to the line with 12 points in this ball game. Henderson eyes for the first attempt. The shot is good. Henderson's got 13. Allen will have one more shot coming. The Hoosier leads back to 7 with 9:15 remaining. One more shot coming for Henderson. And it is no good on the rebound. Batted away. Scramble for. Picked up by Henderson. Back up with the left hand. Missed the shot. Tipped up, no. Tipped again. Knocked out of bounds, Indiana. Indiana will have it. It'll belong to the Hoosiers underneath their own basket. Damon Bailey is set to pass the ball in. Now the whistle blowing from the official. Waiting to see. Apparently they're letting things set up. I don't know what John Clockert is saying, but he said something to Henderson. Allen may be bleeding from that lip he cut last week. Damon Bailey will trigger it. Bailey bounces it inside. It comes to Leary. Todd stops. Bounces back. Baseline. And Pat Graham inside pass. Post! Slam dunk again! Pat Graham feeds Allen Henderson for the slammer. His 15th point of the game. 77-68 Indiana. The Hoosiers lead back to 9. A whistle. And Allen Henderson is bleeding from that split lip he received in the Butler game, and he is going to the sideline very reluctantly. He does not want to come out. Jeff Brasso is coming in for Kentucky now. John Clockert is telling Tim Garl something. They're trying to get that lip stop bleeding because he really opened it up badly in the Butler game last Saturday, Max, and it looks like a repeat.
It does indeed, and of course if it's too much they have to take him out, and Henderson does not want to come out of there. It's going to depend on, now they're going to check him out. Now he's going to have to go out at least for a play or so here.
So Steve Hart will check in. Hart's going to replace Henderson. Henderson is really objecting to coming out of the game. You can't blame him. He's had a couple of big baskets.
4 of 6 this half.
Inbound pass Ford goes back to Brasso. Brasso on the dribble. Outside pass to Martinez. Martinez down, looks it down low, then dribbles it right, gives to Brasso. Inside pass goes to Riddick. Riddick one dribble out to Delk for a 3 try, and it is no good. Rebound, scramble for, and Delk tried to save it. It comes into Martinez to Ford. Back to Martinez to Delk. In the corner to Brasso to Delk. He fires a 3. No good again. Rebound batted away out of bounds off Pat Graham. It'll belong to Kentucky. 77-68. Indiana by 9. Kentucky ball with 8:27 to go.
Kentucky's taken 12 three-point shots this half.
Brasso will inbound. He looks. He finally gets it inside to Delk. He puts it up and couldn't get the shot to fall, but I think Lindemann got the foul. If so, it would be Todd Lindemann's 4th. Rodney Dent is getting set to check back in the lineup for Kentucky. Todd Lindemann becomes the 3rd Indiana player with 4 fouls. So we've got Brian Evans, Sharon, make it the... Well, we got Todd Lindemann, Steve Hart, Brian Evans, Sharon Wilkerson, all with 4 personals now. And Delk at the free throw line. Tony Delk with 12 points, and he misses that one. He missed the free throw. He'll have one more coming. He was 1 of 2 in the first half, so he's now 1 of 3. And Kentucky's free throw shooting 3 of 6, and he got that one to fall. So Delk now has his 13th point. Inbounding, here's Bailey with the basketball. Bounces to Leary across the timeline. Todd drives it right to Steve Hart, and he travels. Hart travels, took the extra step. Indiana with an 8-point lead. You can't afford to turn things over very often in a game like this. 22 Indiana turnovers. Hart to the sideline. Back comes Allen Henderson. Now, Ford across the timeline. Travis Ford goes to Tony Delk. Delk guarded by Bailey. Back outside to Martinez. Left side to Travis Ford. Ford into Martinez. Down low to Delk. Delk works on Lindemann. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Pat Graham. Graham clears it out of trouble. Pat across the timeline to Todd Leary. Leary directs some traffic. Todd Leary drives it to the right. Comes back top of the key. Holds the dribble. Bounces it right to Lindemann. Back out to Leary. Leary to Henderson. Allen turns around, looks inside. He backs it on the dribble. Gives to Leary once again. Time. Can't find Bailey and threw it away. Henderson tries to save it. Can't, and Indiana turns it over. Out of bounds to Kentucky, and timeout's being called with 7:37 left. Indiana 77, Kentucky 69. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Indiana University basketball.
Look up the definition of service in the dictionary, and it says, C. Thompson Hopper and Associates. Well, at least it does in my dictionary. And when it comes to insurance service, they are a very good example. The people at Thompson Hopper and Associates have learned through the years that people want an insurance agent that works for you, cares about you, and helps you get the best insurance service for you. Got an insurance question? Call Thompson Hopper and Associates, 362-8858.
Do you have water spots on your dishes and glassware? Are your clothes dull and dingy after laundering? Does your skin feel dry and rough? If so, you need a Puritan water conditioning unit. Puritan soft water turns clothes whiter and makes dishes sparkle. Puritan soft water keeps your skin smooth and your hair shining. Puritan has over 40 models to choose from. Puritan Water Conditioning, 216 Lafayette Avenue, Crawfordsville. Phone 362-6340. Puritan, another name for soft water.
Here at the Hoosier Dome, it's Indiana 77, Kentucky 69. We have 7:37 to go in this basketball game. Well, TWA is proud to be a sponsor of Hoosier basketball. Our team wishes your team the best of luck in winning the Big Ten championship. TWA, the most comfortable way to play.
One of the things that's happening in this half is that Kentucky is rebounding better. They're trailing Indiana in this half 14-11, but they're doing a much better job. Overall, Indiana is 39-25 out rebounding Kentucky. Indiana now hitting in this half 10 of 20, 50%. Kentucky just 9 of 23, 39%. If the Hoosiers were not turning the ball over so much, Indiana could have a little bit better of a margin here, but they keep letting it slip away because of turnovers. They've had 11 of them in the second half compared to just 4 for Kentucky.
Damon Bailey has been worked on the whole timeout period on the sidelines, and they're still working on him. They're working on, it looks like, maybe some cramps in his legs. He has played extremely hard. He had 23 first half points, but he has not scored yet here in the second half.
I think it is a cramp in the calf of his left leg, and they're trying to loosen it up.
We're on the floor for IU, Leary, Hart, Graham, Lindemann, and Henderson. Here's Dent for Kentucky to Travis Ford to Tony Delk on the right wing. He's joined by Brasso and Martinez in the Kentucky lineup. Delk in backcourt on the dribble against Hart. Delk starts it left, bounces it into Travis Ford. Ford back out to Brasso, down low to Dent. Dent back to Brasso to Ford. Ford inside to Dent again. He turns, looks like he pulled the pivot foot. 3-second call. 3-second call. Here comes Damon Bailey back in. Steve Hart will go to the sideline. So Bailey comes back in, and Todd Leary will inbound for IU. Substitutions for Kentucky as well, as Rhodes comes back into the lineup now. And Andre Riddick as well. Something thrown onto the floor. The official picks it up. 7:14 to go. The Hoosiers lead at 8, 77-69. Leary looking to get it inbounded. Finally does to Alan Henderson. Henderson turns, looks for help. And he's having trouble. Finally clears it up court to Lindemann, to Todd Leary across the timeline. Leary all the way, scoops it up in the left hand. Oh, he scores! Todd Leary scores a huge basket. His 4th point of the game. What a basket that was. Ford, offside to Delk. Delk fakes it back to Ford. 3 on the way, is short, rebound, knocked away to Leary. Todd Leary with the basketball. Now, Todd out to Damon Bailey. Damon, left side drive to the baseline. A whistle, offensive foul called on Bailey, and Bob Knight's unhappy about that call. Bailey gets nailed for the personal, his 3rd of the ball game. Bob Knight saying to John Clockerty, how can he make that call? 79-69, Indiana by 10 with 6:40 to go, and Robert Knight is still yelling out at the official to no avail.
I'm not sure of the official's name. It's a new one. I think these must be SEC conference or somebody, but he's really been involved in about 3 or 4 really controversial calls here today.
Inbounding is Martinez to Travis Ford. Ford will bring it up. Ford across the timeline. Ford, backcourt dribble. Leary on him defensively, gives to Martinez. Martinez circles it back right. Gives it to Travis Ford. Ford clears to Tony Delk. Delk gives to Roderick Rhodes. Rhodes top of the key down low to Martinez. Turns on Henderson. fires a shot up off balance. No, and the rebound to Pat Graham. Graham now clears to Damon. He'll make it to Todd Leary. Leary in backcourt. Gets it across on the walk. Takes it to the left side. Gets it low to Bailey. Damon on the wing. Brings it back out to Pat Graham. Graham down low. Puts it up and scores! Another huge basket. 9 for Pat Graham. Indiana 81, Kentucky 69, and timeout Kentucky. 5:58 to go, and Indiana 81-69 lead over the Wildcats with 5:58 left. What a basketball game. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Indiana. Well, hold on. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
If you had to pay as you go, you'd pay a lot more attention to energy usage. Call 1-800-521-2232 for a home energy upgrade from PSI Energy. PSI will install energy-efficient shower heads, faucet aerators, and a hot water heater jacket, wrap your water pipes, and install energy-saving fluorescent bulbs for a small additional fee. Its value is over $200, yet it costs just $20. So call today at 1-800-521-2232 for your PSI home energy upgrade. Offer available only to PSI customers with electric water heaters or electric heat.
Before you could grab a cross-court pass, fake to the left, and shoot for 3. Before you could make a break and go for the big slam dunk, defying the earthly force of gravity for a moment of serious hang time. You were a kid who kept practicing long after all your friends had gone home. At Pioneer Hybrid, we're proud to support the Indiana Hoosiers, and we salute everyone who has the heart of a winner. See your Pioneer sales representative for the variety right for you.
We are down to 5 minutes, 58 seconds to go, and Indiana has taken a 12-point lead over the Kentucky Wildcats at 81-69 in this wild affair here before 38,197 at the Hoosier Dome. When you plan to travel, consider the intelligent alternatives of Ace Rent-A-Car. Whether you drive, fly, or buy, Ace located at 5700 West Washington Street.
Well, at this time in last year's game, with almost identical amount of time left, Indiana had a slim 2-point lead. At this point in this year's game, they have a 12-point lead, 81-69. Todd Leary and Pat Graham each have 7 assists between them in this half alone. Indiana has a 20-8 assist margin over Kentucky.
Out of the floor, Indiana with Lindemann, Bailey, Leary, Pat Graham, and Alan Henderson. On the floor for Kentucky, Jared Prickett returns for the first time in a while with 4 fouls. Travis Ford, Tony Delt, Andre Riddick, and Roderick Rhodes. This has been a great basketball game from a Hoosier perspective this afternoon. And Indiana trying to knock off number 1 Kentucky. Rhodes will inbound. He gets it to Travis Ford. Ford in backcourt, goes left side to Delt. Delt starts it back left, comes back right to Ford on the bounce pass. Ford holds high, goes back to Delt. He fires a 3. Got it. Tony Delt with his 16th point of the ball game. That is his 4th 3 of this contest, and Indiana has the lead down to 9. Here is Todd Leary, breaks the pressure, gives to Damon Bailey in backcourt to Leary. Indiana sets its offense as Leary circles to the left side. Down low to Lindemann. Todd turns around, 1 dribble, back to Todd Leary. Leary holds, spins back left. Pulls up on the wing, dribbles it back to the top of the key, gives it off left side to Damon Bailey. Bailey drives baseline, spins away, looks inside, fires it outside, it's blocked away. Travis Ford to Andre Riddick for a slam dunk. Andre Riddick has his 7th point of the game, and it's suddenly down to an 81-74 Indiana lead. That's how quickly Kentucky can come back at you. Leary will try to get it in inbound-wise, fires it in to Todd Lindemann. He gives it back to Todd Leary, and Leary will bring it up. Leary brings it across the timeline, bouncing it off to Bailey, back off to Todd. Leary in backcourt. Looks at left, then comes right. Gives it to Bailey. Damon fires a 3. It is no good. Rebound, Pat Graham knocked away, and Travis Ford saves it to Tony Delt. Here comes Kentucky again. Here's Delt to Riddick. Backcourt to Rhodes. Rhodes outside to Travis Ford. Ford now on the dribble. Ford looks in. Fires it right side to Prickett. Prickett down low on the right side. Out to Rhodes to Travis Ford for a 3. Missed it. Rebound. Todd Lindemann in a foul call. Andre Riddick will get nailed on it. Riddick or Jared Prickett? Let's look. Yep, it's going to be Andre Riddick with his 2nd foul. So they'll come to the other end. Todd Lindemann will go to the free throw line. Indiana leading at 81-74. Moments ago it was a 12-point lead. It's back down to 7 right now.
Well, Todd Lindemann has got 10 rebounds in this basketball game. He still hasn't done a lot of scoring, but he certainly has been a force on the boards.
Brian Evans is going to come back into this lineup for Indiana. But is it for Lindemann? I think so. Right now, Bob Knight is discussing something with Brian Evans. We'll wait and see. Down the other end, they're wiping up some perspiration.
He's in for Bailey. Bailey's going out. Bailey is tired.
Damon Bailey is on the bench again. Bailey has apparently got cramp problems. Todd Lindemann at the stripe. 1-1. Free throw in the air. High off the rim, no, and Prickett's got the board for Kentucky. Wildcats have another chance to burn the Hoosiers here. 4:24 left. Ford drives it right, pulls up, gives outside to Prickett. Down low it goes to Riddick. Riddick inside, shot it good. Andre Riddick scores. He's got 9. Indiana's are leading it by 81-76, and we got a foul call, and Jared Prickett, I think, just fouled out. Jared Prickett is called for the foul, and that's it for him. He just fouled out of the ball game. So Prickett goes to the sideline with 7 points. The first man in this foul-riddled ball game to foul out. With 4:11 to go, Prickett goes to the sideline, and Jamel Martinez will come back in. Indiana now will have a chance at the strike. This ball game brought to you in part by Squadron Herbicide. With Squadron Herbicide, you can strike early and strike hard to get full season control of over 50 grasses and broadleaf weeds.
Well, Kentucky right now is on a 7-0 run. Indiana a moment ago had a 12-point lead, but 7 straight points has now cut that down to 5, and Pat Graham needs to hit these free throws.
At the stripe, Pat Graham, and he'll have 2 shots coming. Graham with 9 points in the ball game and a couple of big fielders here in the second half early. Graham's first attempt is in the air, way short. Graham will have 1 more. Indiana's lead at 5. 81-76. Graham eyes for his second attempt. This one is around and in. Pat Graham, 10 points. Indiana back on defense. Travis Ford with the ball for Kentucky. Slides it left side. Ford looks outside, goes to Martinez, and a foul on Pat Graham. So Pat Graham has nailed him a personal. That'll be his second of the ball game. It'll put Jamel Martinez at the free throw stripe, as Indiana's committed 10 fouls, and every team, or each team I should say, has 10 personal fouls, so each of the ball clubs will have 2 free throws on every opportunity now at the free throw line. Damon Bailey will come back into the Hoosier lineup, and Todd Lindemann will sit down.
Well, Martinez has not missed this year from the foul line. He was 2 for 2 in his earlier games. He is 1 for 1 here this afternoon.
At the stripe, Martinez eyes the free toss. It is no good, and he'll have 1 more. So Martinez misses for the first time this year, make it the second time from the line. He's 1 of 3. He'll have an opportunity to draw him back within 5 if he hits this one. He got it. Jamel Martinez now with 4 points, make it 5 points in the ball game. Indiana ball. Brian Evans with it. Gives it off to Todd Leary. Leary brings it up across the timeline. Jumps it off to Henderson. Allen brings it back out to Leary. Todd looks it inside. He brings it back out, top of the key to Pat Graham. Graham looks left, goes right to Leary. Todd looks around, fires to Damon Bailey. Bailey brings it back to Pat Graham. Pat looks it inside once again. Now, looking for Evans, can't find him. Goes to Bailey, left wing. Down low pass inside, put up, and good by Todd Leary. Todd Leary with a big bucket there. His 6th point of the game, and here's a pass knocked out of bounds. Let's see on who. They're going to give it to Kentucky. The Indiana players thought it should have been off of Kentucky, but the Wildcats will have the basketball. 84-77 IU, 3:26 to go. Rhodes will inbound. Gets it into Ford. Outside to Martinez. He fakes the 3. He drives. Back out it comes, and he turns around and looks for help. Now finally finds Ford. Ford looks inside, comes back left. It goes to Brasso, who pumps it up and missed it. Rebound, Pat Graham for Indiana. There's a big board. Now off to Damon Bailey. 3:06 to go. Todd Leary with the ball. Leary across the timeline. Leary has the Hoosiers giving it to Damon Bailey. Back out to Pat Graham. IU fans on their feet. Here's Pat Graham driving in the lane. Turns around, looks for help. Low pass goes to Damon Bailey. He fakes it inside. Has it taken away. Look for the scramble. And what do we got? Foul call against Kentucky. Damon Bailey plays that low post, Max. He is so strong.
Bailey and Henderson are over there hiding. Henderson is wiping the blood with his shirt. Bailey's trying to help him, but I think he got caught.
Martinez just fouled out as well. So Jamel Martinez with his 5th foul. He leaves with 5. And down the bench, Rick Pitino goes. And the first player he comes to that he can put in, aside from Brasso, who will not come into the ball game, is Walter McCarty. McCarty, a 6'9" sophomore from Evansville, Indiana. Harrison High School, sat out last year as a Prop 48. He is a very talented player, but still a very young one.
Henderson apparently got it stopped bleeding. He's got blood on his shirt, which really should have to go out and take his shirt off.
At the line is Bailey. These are key free throws. The first one, Reynolds, no good. Indiana has needed a couple here recently, and Pat Graham was 1 of 2, and now Bailey will try to be 1 of 2. Damon's first point of the second half still to come. He eyes number 2, and this one is good. Bailey now with 24 points. 85-77 IU. The Hoosiers by 8 with 2:43. Ford for Kentucky. To Andre Riddick to Ford. Ford baseline right. Comes back outside with a dribble. Gives to Tony Delk. Delk guarded by Bailey. Slides past one man. Pulls up. Can't shoot. Gives to Rhodes. Right side to Ford. Ford down low. It goes to McCarty. He drives inside. Passes it underneath the Riddick, and he scores on a foul. Andre Riddick scores his 11th point of the ball game, and a nice feed from Walter McCarty. And the foul call against Indiana, I think, nailed against Alan Henderson. That is his second of the ball game. It'll put Riddick at the free throw line. Riddick with 11 points in the game and 1 of 3 from the line today. He's not a great free throw shooter, having hit 5 of 10 coming into the day's action.
Well, Don Riddick right now is carrying Kentucky in this half. He's hit 4 out of 6 shots. He's got 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks in this half alone.
Riddick at the stripe. Fires the free one up. It is no good short, and it's batted away, and it's picked off by Roderick Rhodes. Off the Ford for a 3 try. It is no good. It rims out, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it belonged to IU. That ball was halfway down and spun the hoop and came out. Indiana's ball. Leary inbounds to Bailey. Back to Leary, and the foul. Damon trying to get it back to Leary, and the foul is on Delk, I believe. Tony Delk called for the personal. That will be his 3rd of the ball game. And it'll be Damon Bailey going to the free throw line. 2:17 left. Indiana 85, Kentucky 79.
Don, in this half, Indiana's hit only 4 out of 10 from the foul line. That's after hitting 17 of 20 in the first half. And Kentucky has now taken 17 three-point shots in this second half, but has hit only 4.
Damon Bailey with 24 points, 23 in the first half. Big free throws, and it doesn't fall. He'll have one more shot coming. Indiana's lead at 6. Their free throw shooting is suddenly soured. Bailey tries to convert this one for a 7-point lead, and he does. Bailey now has 25. Up the floor comes Kentucky quickly, 2:14 to go. Ford with the basketball. Top of the key, bounce pass left, goes to Rhodes, down low to Walter McCarty. Back outside to Delk. Delk drives, he pulls up, jumps. Oh, Brian Evans with a beautiful block and steal. What a play by Evans. Now Leary. Off right to Brian Evans on the wing. Bryant to Alan Henderson. Off top of the key to Pat Graham. Graham circles it right, stops, looks left, goes to Henderson. Allen brings it back out. Indiana takes time off the clock. Leary has it in backcourt at the midcourt line. Todd to Damon. Bailey left. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bailey holds. Damon drives it left baseline, fakes, pulls up, fires, and no good. Henderson rebound, up and got it! Alan Henderson, 17th point of the ball game. Here's Ford the other way. Passes to Rhodes. Rhodes drives. He kicks it out to Delk for a 3-try. No good. Rebound inside to Riddick. Back up he goes. Missed the shot. Knocked away. Pulled out of there by Brian Evans in a jump ball. Indiana will have it. 1:11 to go. Indiana 88, Kentucky 79. Hoosier basketball with a 9-point lead. Inbound Leary to Damon Bailey. Bailey brings it across the timeline quickly. Damon in backcourt, spins, gives to Leary. Todd holds in backcourt. He looks right. Inside 101. Now inside a minute and a foul on Rhodes. Roderick Rhodes called for the foul, his third. IU fans are on their feet. This Hoosier portion of the crowd today is going nuts right now. 1 minute left. And Indiana with free throws coming could take it up to a 10-point lead as the Hoosiers go for the knockout here in the Dome.
Well, they have hit a few free throws here in this last 3 minutes. They would have this in double digits right now.
Pat Graham with 10 points, fires, and got it. 11 now for Graham. One more shot coming. Indiana 89, Kentucky 79. Now Pat Graham tries to make an 11-point lead. He eyes, he flies, and he hits. Graham has got 12. Indiana 90 to 79. Here's Rhodes the other way. Backs it out, gives it to Travis Ford. Ford drives it inside, almost knocked away. Rhodes fires an off-balance shot, no good. Rebound Brian Evans. Out to Todd Leary and a foul. Indiana with an 11-point lead and 46.9 seconds to go. And this Hoosier crowd is on their feet. What a basketball game. And right now, Bob Knight talks with Leary for a moment, and the Hoosier fans are going crazy.
Brian Evans has also got 10 rebounds tonight as he steps up for these 2 free throws. He has played himself a tremendous basketball game as well. These two teams have really played well.
Shot in the air is no good, and Brian Evans misses that one. Evans, with 19 points, has missed his last 2 free throws. He'll have one more shot coming. He can take it to a 12-point lead, and he does not. He missed them both. Rebound to Kentucky. Here's Travis Ford. Right side dribble. Takes it baseline. Throws up a runner off the glass. No. Tip up. No. Rebound Brian Evans again. Scramble for, and out of bounds to Indiana. Indiana will have it. 35.7 seconds left. Inbound to Bailey. Damon turns around, looks for help. Bailey brings it up. Down across the timeline, and we got a foul call. This one will be on Ford. 29 seconds to go. Indiana leads 90 to 79. Here comes a point out on the floor. Somebody threw a quarter. That's ridiculous.
That's the second one. One thrown down toward the Kentucky bench that Pitino flipped off the court just a minute ago.
To the line will be Damon Bailey with 25 points. He'll have 2 shots. The first in the air. Good. 26 for Bailey. One more shot coming, and Indiana could lead by 13 points, and it's just about insurmountable. He eyes, he flies, and hits. 27 for Bailey. Indiana now a 92-79 leader. Here's Ford. Fires up another runner. Got it. And timeout is called by Kentucky. Travis Ford threw up the runner for his 20th point. Kentucky calls time. With the score, IU 92, Kentucky 81, 23.1 seconds to go. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
You can count on Hooks.
You wanted more savings. Now Hooks gives you more. Hooks will double your manufacturer's coupons every day. Plus, we'll also honor our competitors' coupons at face value. That's 2 more ways to save. Get more of what you're shopping for less. Only at Hooks. Hooks, more of what a drugstore is for.
When you want more, Hooks gives you more. More of what a drugstore is for. Hooks.
The people at the Central Indiana Midas shops are showing that there's a different way to get your car repaired. It's called the Midas Way. They properly diagnose the problem so the work is done right the first time. They fix only what needs to be fixed, give you their exclusive inspection, and thoroughly explain your options. They honor your Midas warranty without hassle. They prove that a car repair company can be professional, responsive, and caring. So see your Central Indiana Midas shops for that different way to get your car repaired. The Midas way. That's the way it should be.
Here at the Hoosier Dome, a tremendous crowd of over 38,000 on hand. Indiana's running out on the floor right now as the Hoosiers lead it by 92-81 count, and the Kentucky Wildcats on defense.
Indiana with a commanding rebounding lead in this game, 47-34. Also, they're out shooting Kentucky this half, 52% to 38%.
Henderson, Graham, Leary, Damon Bailey, and Bryant Evans the lineup. And they're waiting for the timeout to conclude here. Well, today's game brought to you in part by Amex Coal Industries, powering your energy needs.
Don, there's a lot of empty seats in the blue sections right now, but I don't see any red shirts gone. Looks like the Indiana fans are going to stay here and love it.
Well, much like last year down in Louisville, the Kentucky fans stayed around, and they like what they saw, and likewise, Indiana fans are having it their way this season. What basketball these two teams play against one another. Leary will inbound. Todd gets it into Bailey. Damon turns around, dribbles it up the floor, gets it across the timeline. Damon in backcourt, takes it out of trouble. 15 seconds to go, and a foul. Damon Bailey will go to the line again with 27. This Hoosier crowd loving every second of these final seconds of this ball game as Indiana's going to win it. Here's Bryant Evans over there with blood all over him right now on the legs. He's wiping it off. I don't know how he got it there. There's blood on 3 or 4 players out there.
Really, you're supposed to come over and take the uniforms off and change when you have blood, according to NCAA rules, but these officials have not called it this afternoon.
At the stripe once again will be Damon Bailey. An interesting, Max, here in these final minutes. It's been all veterans out there on the floor.
I was thinking about that a little earlier.
Bailey with 27 for the free toss here. He got it. He's got 28. Damon had a fantastic first half that was a key in leading Indiana to their big lead at the break by 11. And he's salting this one away from the stripe. He got it to full. He's got 29, and the Hoosiers right now on top 94-81. Here's Tony Epps driving it left side to Roderick Rhodes for a 3 try, and he hit it. Roderick Rhodes scores his 19th point of the ball game. And what do we got? Another foul call as the inbound pass came to Leary, and he got hammered immediately. So Roderick Rhodes hits a 3, but it's still a 10-point lead for IU. We're down to 8 seconds, and Indiana's going to pull off the surprise this afternoon. North Carolina, number 1, got beat. Kentucky, number 1, gets beat. This all happens in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Makes you wonder what this season's going to be like. It may be that there are a bunch of teams out there all about the same.
Leary fires and got it. Todd Leary has his 7th point of this contest. He'll have one more shot coming. And he can take the lead back up to 12 if he cans this one, and he does. 8 points for Leary. Kentucky ball, 7 seconds to go. Epps across the timeline. Epps throws up a 3. It is off the rim, no. Rebound Henderson for IU. That's it. Indiana's done it. They beat Kentucky this afternoon here in the Hoosier Dome. Number 1 ranked Kentucky falls to the Indiana Hoosiers by the final count. Indiana 96, Kentucky 84. A humongous upset for the Hoosiers, and of course a giant win for Indiana's mental frame of mind. 96-84, again the final score here this afternoon at the Dome. We'll be back to review today's game on the Pioneer Seed postgame show when we continue. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
Indiana Hoosier basketball, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Always IU, always Coca-Cola. Your Central Indiana Dodge dealers. Hook's Drugstore, more of what a drugstore is for. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud sponsor of Indiana University basketball. Indiana's Rural Electric Cooperatives, a power partnership providing safe and efficient electric energy to 1 million Hoosiers. Midas, try the Midas way, the way it should be. Pioneer Hybrid International Incorporated, and your local Pioneer sales representative, PSI Energy. Call the PSI professional today for ways to save energy and your money. TWA, the most comfortable way to fly. Napa Auto Parts, we keep America running. Pursuit Herbicide, the no-till, no-fear leader for soybean weed control. Your local Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by State Farm Insurance and State Farm agents throughout Indiana who support Hoosiers basketball. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Car accidents can happen at any time, and they can happen in the blink of an eye. The trouble is, if you drive after drinking, you can't react that fast. At State Farm, we understand the importance of designated drivers. They save lives by driving and not drinking. Accidents happen, but drinking and driving, that's an accident waiting to happen. State Farm asks you to be a good neighbor. Be a designated driver. This message brought to you by State Farm and your local State Farm agents.
So my husband says, "Honey, let's move to the country." "Oh, sure," I said. But we did. I knew there'd be changes. The first one came from our new electric company. Now we get our power from an electric co-op. And with REMC, we're not just customers, we're members. We own the company. I like that. REMC even has great ideas for making our old farmhouse more livable. Yeah, country living is different, but in this case, different is better. Thanks, REMC.
A winning tradition. Teams strive for it. Fans dream of it. And owners pray for it. But a winning tradition is something you can get into right now with a family of Eagle Summits. There are 3 sporty styles to choose from, like the attractive and economical Summit Coupe and Sedan. And then there's the always affordable Summit Wagon, with plenty of room for the whole team. So whatever your needs may be, the Summit lineup is sure to fit into your game plan. So see your Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
We keep America running.
Come to your local Napa Auto Parts store for great holiday gift ideas like the Napa Sound Machine toy truck with flashing lights and real truck sounds, just $16.99. And Chilton's 1994 repair manuals, domestic or import, just $13.99 each. Or the Napa Evercraft 61-piece socket set, now just $29.99. So stop by your participating Napa Auto Parts store.
We keep America running.
And back once again. Chuck, I think you've misplaced your home. Chuck grabbed the PA announcer here this afternoon, said goodbye to the fans from Assembly Hall. Well, we're in the Hoosier Dome, and Indiana has beaten Kentucky in a big win this afternoon, 96-84, to knock off the #1 ranked team in the country, and the second time #1 has fallen so far this season in about 2 weeks' time. Let's take a look at the individual scoring in this ball game this afternoon. First of all, for the Kentucky Wildcats, Travis Ford, I have unofficially with 20 points to lead the Kentucky Wildcats this afternoon. I heard differently earlier from the PA, but I'm not sure that was correct. I have Ford with 19. Roderick Rhodes had 19 points, 16 for Tony Doak, 11 points for Andre Riddick, 7 points for Jared Prickett, 5 points apiece for Jeff Brasso and for Jamel Martinez, 2 points for Rodney Dent, Anthony Epps, Jeff Shepard, Walter McCarty, and Chris Harrison all played, but none were able to score. So in double figures today for Kentucky, Travis Ford with 20, 19 for Roderick Rhodes, 16 for Tony Delk, and 11 for Andre Riddick. For Indiana this afternoon, Damon Bailey had a fantastic first half to set the tone for this Hoosier squad. 29 points in the ball game, but 23 of those came in the first half of today's game. Making 19 points for Brian Evans, who played a terrific ball game himself. 19 for Evans. Alan Henderson had 17. Pat Graham had 12. 8 points for Todd Leary. 5 points for Steve Hart. 4 points for Todd Lindemann.
2 points for Sharon Wilkerson. Richard Mandeville and Pat Knight did not score in the ball game. So Indiana this afternoon with 4 players in double figures as well, led by Bailey's 29, Evans 19, 17 for Henderson, and 12 for Pat Graham. Max, a look at those team stats.
Well, in the game today, Indiana finishes up shooting 48.4%. They do it on 31 of 64. They held Kentucky to just 34.6 shooting on 27 of 78. And they did that consistently because in the first half they held Kentucky to just 31% on 12 of 39. The second half it was 15 of 39 for just 38% for that 34.6% for the game. For Indiana, they were 45.9 shooters in the first half, but 14 of 27 in the second half, 51.8%, to give them a game total of 48.4. Indiana from three-point range was 4 of 10 this afternoon, 40%. They hit 4 of 6 in the first half, missed all 4 of their three-point shots in the second half. Kentucky was very conservative with its three-point shooting in the first half, taking 12 shots, hitting 4, but they fired it up 19 times in the second half, but could hit only 5 for just 26%. They finish up hitting just 9 of 31 from three-point range, 29%. Had Indiana been able to shoot better from the foul line, this game would not even have been as close as it is. They end up shooting 30 out of 42 free throws, 71%, but they hit only 13 of 22 in the second half for just 59%. Kentucky had only 32 shots, hitting on 21 for 65%. The turnovers, Indiana turned it over 24 times, Kentucky 16. So if you take Indiana a little bit better with the turnovers, cutting that margin down, better free throw shooting, this game would not have even been a 12-point game, as Indiana would have moved out and won it rather handily, perhaps. Individually in the game, Anderson finishes up 7 of 10. He had 5 of 7 shooting in the second half. Brian Evans finished 8 out of 14 for the game. Both halves very good, 4 of 6 in the second half to go with 4 of 8 in the first half. Lindemann 2 of 8 from the field. Damon Bailey 6 of 12. He was 6 of 8 in the first half, but he missed all 4 shots he took in the second half. Pat Graham was 3 of 7. Todd Leary 2 of 5. Steve Hart 2 of 6. Sharon Wilkerson 1 of 2, and Pat Knight did not take a shot. For the Kentucky Wildcats, it was Rhodes hitting 4 out of 14, and the other one was last year. You remember we've talked about Travis Ford, how well he did. Today he was held to 7 of 21 shooting, and he had only 3 three-point baskets out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looks like maybe 8 shots from three-point range. So that was very significant as we took a look at the individual. We'll pick up some rebounding, Don, in just a moment.
All right, we'll pick the PSI Energy Player of the Game when we return. You're listening to Indiana University Basketball.
Break 'em up at the Bank Cigar Shop, where you can play pool for as long as you like for just $3 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only $2 Monday through Thursday. And since the Bank Cigar Shop has moved to their new location, they carry more special interest magazines than anyone else around. When you're looking for something to do, stop in and pick up a magazine or two and shoot some pool at the Bank Cigar Shop. Now in their new location at 124 North Green Street, downtown Crawfordsville.
Serb's Tire at 210 North Walnut is your one-stop automotive shop with Cooper Tires, the American-made and owned tire with nationwide warranties. And with the addition of top mechanic Ben Gleason, Serb's Tire is able to expand their automotive services. Brake and shock work, transmission, oil changes, and of course Cooper Tires. Serb's Tire at 210 North Walnut, open Monday through Friday 8 to 6 and Saturdays 8 to 4, or call 362-0279.
A lot of things have changed over the years, including our nation's defense. Today, the National Guard and Reserve make up 44% of our military, and 44% makes a big difference, even in a song.
Over there, send the word, over there.
Now, just imagine what our country's defense would be like if it were 44% weaker.
'Cause the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming. The drum is from coming everywhere over there.
The National Guard and Reserve make a big difference. So when your employees need time off to train, be a hero. Give them the freedom to protect ours.
And we won't come back till it's over. Is it over?
A public service message from employer support of the Guard and Reserve and the Ad Council.
Well, back once again at the Hoosier Dome, where this afternoon Indiana beats number 1 ranked Kentucky 96-84. A terrific basketball game here this afternoon in Indianapolis. And Max, we want to pick up on where you left off there statistically at rebounding.
All right, just a quick look at the rebounds. Brian Evans had 9 rebounds. Alan Henderson led the Hoosiers with 11. He had 2 block shots. And Todd Lindemann had 10 rebounds. That's 30 of the 48 Indiana got. There were 21 assists in the game for Indiana. Graham and Leary each had 4. Damon Bailey had 5. Riddick led Kentucky with 8 rebounds. He also had 3 block shots. Delk also had 3 block shots.
Well, Indiana this afternoon played exceptionally well, and I think the guy who set the tone in the ball game, as we discussed during the break, was Damon Bailey. Damon had 23 first-half points, finished the game with 29, but his contribution was more than just points this afternoon. He led this ball club and did a sensational job in the first half. In total, 29 points for the ball game. He had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal. So Damon Bailey is our PSI Energy player of the game, and what a performance he had this afternoon. We'll have comments from assistant coach Norm Ellenberger as our Pioneer Seed postgame show continues. This is Indiana University basketball from Learfield Sports.
If your goal is economical home comfort, PSI Energy can give you a home court advantage. Call PSI about a Smart Saver high-efficiency heating and cooling system or a Summer Saver high-efficiency cooling system. With both systems, you enjoy reduced energy costs, enhanced home comfort, and lots of other energy-saving values. Call PSI at 1-800-521-2232 about a Smart Saver or Summer Saver new home or an energy-efficient system for your existing home. That's 1-800-521-2232.
Last year, over 1.5 million cars were stolen. The thieves who took those cars not only stole from the rightful owners, but they robbed everybody who pays car insurance premiums. That's why State Farm works with car makers to make new cars harder to steal, and why we work with law enforcement officials to recover cars that are stolen. Because when a thief steals any car, he steals from all of us. This message brought to you by State Farm and your local State Farm agents.
To play the game right, you need a really strong defense. And no one knows that better than the Eagle Vision TSI. With its driver and front passenger side airbags, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, optional traction control, and fold-down child safety seat, it's one of the best defensive players around. Add the 24-valve, 214-horsepower engine, and Vision TSI is in a league of its own. Test drive one at your Jeep and Eagle dealer today, and always wear your seatbelt.
You can count on Hooks.
Now, Hooks gives you more with RX Watch. The RX Watch computer does more than other drugstore computers. It checks your medication against pre-identified health conditions. It only takes a minute to sign up, and it's free. With RX Watch, we do more than just fill your prescription. Hooks, more of what a drugstore is for.
When you want more, Hooks gives you more. More of what a drugstore is for. Hooks. Hooks.
Back once again on our post-game show from the Hoosier Dome after Indiana's victory over number 1 ranked Kentucky this afternoon, 96-84. Joining us as always, Norm Ellenberger, assistant coach for the Hoosiers. Norm, I'm going to steal your line. You're back from the dead.
Yeah, right. Well, we could have used a hearse for a team bus in that last ball game, and they could, it doesn't take much to haul a bunch of cadavers around, but this one belongs to Coach Knight. He was never better as he was this week, and probably never tougher and never more ornery either. But if you bring that outfit back from Butler to the heights of what this game is, why that belongs right to him.
Certainly, Norm, one of the real keys, as we've already pointed out, was Damon Bailey's performance in the first half.
Well, Damon, I think, was if Damon is anything, he's got a lot of pride, and sometimes he's a little lazy with that pride. But this is his last trip, and he showed in practice this week that he was thoroughly disgusted not only with himself but with the entire outfit, and when you really think about it, and you see him practice when he's at his best, and you're not surprised at this kind of an effort, because this is what he's capable of. Whether he'll show up in the next ball game or not, that remains to be seen, because he's also capable of inconsistency. So let's just see what happens. I want him to be just like he is today.
One of the things that we talked to you during the break, Indiana had 24 turnovers today, but Indiana never allowed those turnovers to be a major factor in this ball game. And what we mean by that is Kentucky didn't, I don't think, and I don't know the official statistics on it, but I don't think they got a lot of baskets or fast breaks off of those turnovers.
Well, with the exception of a couple of our freshmen, Kentucky has greater athletes than we do from top to bottom, and with the type of pressure defense they play, both full court and at half court, you're gonna cough it up now and then. But at the same time, while we were turning over against that pressure, we were laying that baby in a lot of times off of it too. So. I don't know whether it was a wash or not, but the turnovers, while you don't like to have that many turnovers, I thought we still handled and kept our composure, especially in the first half. We get down 5 or 6 in that first half, and all the blue shirts around are yelling, and the place is really tough to play in right then, and our emotion now is kind of down, and there's an awful, we can lose the ball game right there, and that was the real turning point of the ball game.
They made 2 runs at you, Norm. They got up 7 once in the first half, and then they got back to within 3 in the second half after you'd built that up and you really withstood it.
How late was that? The
3 was at
early,
12:37.
That's right, and then it was 5 or 6 there down toward the end. But see, there in that type of thing, you can't expect to hold a Kentucky team or a team as good as they are down without them making runs at you. And fortunately, then our older guys woke up. A couple of our old cadavers, cadavers with beards like Pat Graham and Larry, and they've been in situations like this, and I thought that they kind of came front to the front there and did really well. And then our big old guy Todd Lindemann, he finally got I had several heart-to-heart talks with him for the last couple of weeks, and I told him what I thought of him, and he took it to heart, and he came back and played it real well. I'm just tickled to death with him.
Norm, you indicated to me the other night when I was in your office that you were really concerned about their inside game. How do you feel you handled that?
Well, Dent got 2, and so that and where'd Riddick? Riddick comes in and gets
got 11.
Okay, 11. So there's 13 points out of 2 excellent athletes. We couldn't ask for anything any better than that. And at the same time, while we guarded that in there, while they did make some threes, the threes didn't break our back. So our defensive plan, what little plan that we had, this is an interesting week. We didn't really spend a whole lot of time on Kentucky other than just Friday and today, because we were in such a hole ourselves that we had to really work on ourselves. But what plans that we made were really good, and the kids executed them well.
Always nice to be the coach that's had the Kentucky ball game and had the preparation for it and then win it.
Yeah, I scouted Kentucky. I told Coach when I handed him the scouting report, I said they press and they shoot a lot of threes, and then he took it from there.
Norm, obviously, I think one of the real keys in this ball game at the end too. You've already pointed to it, but the play of Todd Leary, Pat Graham, Alan Henderson, Damon Bailey, Brian Evans down the stretch here was a real key as far as keeping your composure and your poise.
It's going to be interesting to see where we go from here now. The group that you named is a very slow basketball team, and especially you throw Lindemann in there, and that group can't while they can play some pretty good basketball, we have got to have those 2 freshmen playing a lot and having a role in prime time, not just a cleanup role or a second half role. And because they, especially Hart, gives us so much more mobility and movement. And part of the reason why Damon scored some points in that first half was the fact that those 2 freshmen had really given us a lot of movement and opened up a lot of cracks for him. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go from there.
Obviously, Notre Dame comes up Tuesday, so not much time to celebrate, not like last week when you had no celebration intact.
The only thing I can think of was that trip last Saturday from Indianapolis to Bloomington. That's the only thing I can think of right now, and what a different trip this is going to be. And then the 11 hours that we spent in there after we got there.
Norm, congratulations on a great win this afternoon.
Well, it's great to be back alive again after a short death.
All right, Norm Ellenberger, our post-game guest, and we'll return with final thoughts on today's game in just a moment. You're listening to Indiana University Basketball.
When you travel, consider the intelligent alternatives of Ace Rent-A-Car. If you plan to drive, Ace has a diversified fleet of new low-mileage cars and vans with unlimited mileage and rates to fit your budget. If you're flying, leave your car with a friend. Ace Valet Parking, just off the Indianapolis Airport. Ace's 24-hour parking service provides a convenient, secure, hassle-free alternative. Whether you drive or fly, Ace is the way to go. Ace, the intelligent alternative. The people at the Central Indiana Midas shops are showing that there's a different way to get your car repaired. It's called the Midas way. They properly diagnose the problem so the work is done right the first time. They fix only what needs to be fixed, give you their exclusive inspection, and thoroughly explain your options. They honor your Midas warranty without hassle. They prove that a car repair company can be professional, responsive, and caring. So see your Central Indiana Midas shops for that different way to get your car repaired. The Midas way. That's the way it should be.
Well, one of the first, still one of the best, the new MaxiCare.
Knowing your family is covered in the event of a medical emergency is one of the reassuring things about belonging to the new MaxiCare. What's even more reassuring, however, is helping to prevent emergencies from ever happening at all. So please, when driving, don't forget to buckle up. Seatbelts do save lives.
One of the first, still one of the best, the new MaxiCare.
The new
Indiana Hoosier Basketball. Brought to you by Hogan Transfer and Storage in Indianapolis. And by White Castle. Where else can you buy them by the sack but at White Castle? This is a production of the Hoosier Network, a division of Learfield Communications Incorporated.
You're listening to 103.9 FM WIMC and 1550 AM WCVL Crawfordsville.
Tonight, high school basketball is on the schedule. On WIMC and WCVL, North Montgomery travels to Fountain Central. The game's brought to you by Miller Body and Chassis in Waynetown, your restoration specialist since 1979. For all your cars and trucks damaged by collision, call 234-2248. By Smith's Service Station in Waynetown, your full service station for all cars and trucks. They do it all at a reasonable rate. By Kiger Incorporated, where they do repair work on any furnace, even in modular and mobile homes. By Zippy Lube, locally owned and operated with a 10-minute, 15-point oil change featuring Pennzoil, America's most asked-for motor oil. By Englewood Barbershop, your full-service barbershop at 2203 Indianapolis Road. By Wright Implement, they've got Montgomery County covered, located on State Road 28 East in Williamsport. Call 1-800-258-6056. By Cook Heating and Air, call 362-5300 for all your heating and cooling needs. Cook Heating and Air in the community, serving the community. By Indiana Motor Parts, your Napa dealer in Crawfordsville at 200 West Market Street.
There should be a different standard than if the were made.